Chapter 32-38 Thunderstorm. It was one of the tests on the 6th floor of the Tomb of the God of Sin. It was also a special kind of test. The Tomb of the God of Sin, left by a top-level ultimate god, was not easy to break through. After so many years, the experts from the Beast Divine continent could only reach the 6th floor. It showed how difficult the Tomb of the God of Sin was. A large black whirlpool swept over. Thunderbolts also fell. The forces on the platform activated their treasures to resist the attack of the thunderstorm. It was not the first time for the big forces to come here. They knew very well how to resist the thunderstorm. As long as nothing went wrong, there would not be much danger. The thunderstorm came very fast. The world suddenly darkened. Thunderbolts whizzed and landed in the area. The treasures played a great role. Shields of different colors opened up and withstood the waves of attacks. While everyone was resisting the thunderstorm, they did not forget to pay attention to the barbarian boys Senfu. No one knew better than them that on the 6th floor of the Tomb of the God of Sin, one would be immediately eliminated if one was not on the platform. The thunderstorm in the sky seemed to have sensed the existence of the immortal abode. Lightning bolts that blotted out the sky and covered the earth came crashing down on the immortal abode. In an instant, the immortal abode was submerged in lightning. Ha ha ha! How dare the barbarian boy act so presumptuously here? The rules left by the ultimate god of sin are not to be trifled with. Divine Master Mengshin sneered with cold eyes. What a pity for the Senfu! This immortal manner was something that even Hierarch Meng Qi would covet. For it to be able to withstand his power, this immortal manner was definitely different from the rest. Under the cloud storm, nothing could withstand the attack. On the platform on the Lion Man tribe's side, Lion Huisheng was overjoyed to see the thunderstorm coming. The difficult situation was finally over. It was worth it to help the beaming royal family to contain the barbarian boys Senfu. The only pity was that the Senfu was about to be destroyed and he could not deal with the barbarian boy himself. When the thunderstorm covered the area, Lion Huisheng, who thought the pressure would be relieved, had to face a cruel reality. Damn. Stop! The Senfu's attack continued. His power had increased. Lion Huisheng was coughing out blood. Coupled with the endless attacks from the thundercloud storm, the Lion Man race experts around him were falling one after another. Even the treasures that he had activated were on the verge of breaking down. It's impossible for his Senfu to last that long. Lion Huisheng told everyone that they just needed to hold on a little longer. Once Senfu was defeated, their threat would disappear. 5 breaths, 10 breaths, 20 breaths. The experts on Lion Huisheng's side had all fallen. Senfu's attacks did not stop. Expert of the Lion Man tribe, do you feel good? You asked for it, ha ha ha. Just when everyone thought that the barbarian brat Senfu was doomed, a loud and clear voice rang out once again. A huge ball of light shot out from the cannon of the Senfu. The area enveloped by the black vortex was mercilessly torn apart by the huge ball of light. It left a long trail behind as it charged towards Shang Shizeng's position. Seeing this, Lion Huisheng's brows twitched. A terrifying threat loomed over him. Why didn't Senfu break? Facing this attack, Shang Shizeng completely lost his confidence. How could he block it? Barbarian brat, wait for the revenge of our Lion Man tribe. Shang Shizeng took out a scroll and tore it open. A ball of energy enveloped the remaining experts and tore the void apart. With a swoosh, they disappeared without a trace. The Lion Man tribe, one of the top 10 royal tribes, had left the 6th level of the Tomb of the God of Sin, just like that. This situation greatly shocked the remaining 9 royal tribes. Being eliminated under such circumstances was really beyond everyone's expectations. That barbarian brat was too crazy. He even dared to attack the royal tribes. Was he really going to fight with them and be irreconcilable enemies? Beaming royal tribe, it's your turn. Boom, boom. As the voice rang out, The ball of light followed closely and smashed into the sky above the platform of the Bimung royal tribe. The experts of the Bimung royal tribe, who had just rejoiced for a while, were all dumbfounded. How could the Senfu withstand it? In the Senfu, Lin Fei was in a very good mood. This kind of attack came at the right time. Lin Fei's heart was filled with joy. He was 100% confident in the defense of the Senfu. The thunderstorm also came in time, providing a steady stream of attack energy for Lin Fei's Senfu. The energy attack that the Senfu could use became very abundant. Its power also increased. The Lion Man tribe really ran away fast. The attack speed of the super infinite cannon was not very fast, although it could lock onto people. Under the influence of the thunderstorm, it was normal for there to be a certain speed delay. Lin Fei was not surprised that the experts of the Lion Man tribe ran away. Lin Fei did not feel much about driving away a member of the royal tribe, but for Panjayan, it was a very different feeling. She had personally driven the Lion Man tribe out of the tomb of the god of sin. What could be more exciting than this? It was no longer possible to come back after leaving the tomb of the god of sin. The Lion Man tribe had suffered a great loss this time. They had missed an opportunity to grow stronger. The Beast Divine continent had many meta-beast forces, especially those who were infinitely close to the royal tribe. Once they obtained treasures this time, their strength would improve greatly, and they might even be able to oust the royal tribe. Panjayan secretly glanced at this barbarian guy and silently said in her heart, "Thank you." If it weren't for this barbarian, Panjayan would never have believed that there would be a day when she would be able to attack. Although it was not by force, the feeling of killing them was too good. What is he trying to do? Uncontrollably, Panjayan could not help but have a doubt. This was the most unfathomable person. That was the royal tribe. Did he not care about the revenge of the royal tribe? Hierarch Meng Qi led the behemoth experts to resist the attack. Originally, the thunderstorm made them not dare to be distracted, but now with the attack of the Senfu, its power had increased a lot. Hierarch Meng Qi's face turned bitter. "Brat, are you planning to shed all pretense of cordiality with our behemoth royal tribe?" Hierarch Meng Qi roared. "I can't hold on any longer." Under the intensive bombardment of the cannons, even the physical defense of the behemoth royal tribe seemed to be very strenuous and on the verge of collapse. Lin Fei laughed and said, "Who said that he wanted to destroy me just now? Why, you can't hold on anymore. Hey, you are the behemoth royal tribe. Why can't you hold on anymore?" The experts on the platform rolled their eyes when they heard this. Who could resist such an attack? Hierarch Meng Qi knew that he was in big trouble. Chapter 30-39. The elimination of the Lion Man tribe was really beyond everyone's expectations. The competition between the 10 great royal tribes was very intense. But this time, besides anger, there was even a trace of schadenfreude. They were naturally angry about the barbarian tribe's unruly behavior. This was a challenge to the royal tribe's hierarchy. They had to suppress the barbarian tribe's situation and let him know how powerful the royal tribe's influence was. But now they were hesitating. The Lion Man tribe was eliminated just like that. It seemed that it would be the Bimin royal tribe's turn soon. That was one of the top 5 royal tribes. If the Bimin royal tribe was eliminated, it meant that they were disqualified. So if they interfered, would they face the barbarian tribe's revenge? In their opinion, the Lion Man tribe and the Bimin royal tribe were both taken revenge by the barbarian tribe, especially the Lion Man tribe, because they were close to the Bimin royal tribe. In the end, they were the first to be disqualified. Should they speak up to defend the Bimin royal tribe? This was something that they had to consider. Should they let the barbarian tribe continue to behave atrociously, or should they work together to suppress the barbarian tribe? There were both advantages and disadvantages. In the center of the platform, the experts on the platform were completely different from the 10 great royal tribes. The aura they emitted was different, and there was only one person activating the treasure. The rest of the people all stood with indifferent expressions on their faces, completely different from the royal family's expression. What a barbarian tribe kid. He really gave us a wonderful performance. He was not afraid of the thunderstorm. What an eye-opener. The one who spoke was a middle-aged meta beast expert. He had a faint smile on his face, as if the scene in front of him was insignificant. He is indeed extraordinary. I'm afraid that the supreme divinity would never have thought that one day the rules would be broken by a barbarian tribe kid. Do you think we should rope in the barbarian tribe kid? The two people who spoke looked at an old man not far away. Let's see. On the platform was the undying celestial tribe of the three great celestial tribes. In the divine beast continent, the three great celestial tribes were the undying celestial tribe, the ancient ape celestial tribe, and the breaking sun celestial tribe. These three great celestial tribes were all special races. The 10 great royal tribes were weak in front of them. In the divine beast continent, the 10 great royal tribes never dared to say anything. Every change in the royal family required the consent of the 3 great god clans. The strength of the 3 god clans was equal. There was no so-called number 1 god clan. Everyone's strength was at the same level, so it was almost impossible to distinguish who was the strongest. The other 2 Protoss were also staring at Senfu in the thunderstorm. Under the endless attacks, the Senfu wasn't damaged in the slightest. It withstood the attacks of the cloud storm and continued to release attacks, unceasingly attacking the Beaming royal clan. According to this situation, the Beaming royal family would soon be unable to hold on. The consumption was too great. Senfu's attacks did not stop for even a moment. That was the worst-case scenario. When Hierarch Meng Qi heard the barbarian kid's words, he felt terrible. Beg for mercy? A dignified member of the royal family had to beg for mercy from a lowly brat from the barbarian tribe? Wasn't this a slap to his face? We can't hold on any longer. The Immortal Mansion's attack has penetrated too deeply. Hierarch Meng Qi's voice reverberated in his ears. The beaming powerhouses on the platform were now in a state of exhaustion. Facing the double attack, they really couldn't bear it. Hierarch Meng Qi was really unwilling to leave the Tomb of the Gods in such a sorry state. It would take too long to wait for the Tomb of the Gods to open again. Are we really going to beg for mercy? Hierarch Meng Qi really couldn't think of any other way. As for asking for reinforcements, he believed that no one would help. The royal family couldn't wait for the Beaming royal family to lose their qualification. The current situation was really terrible. Lin Fei wanted to build up his reputation in the Tomb of the Gods, so he naturally wasn't afraid of offending the 10 great royal families. As for the Protoss clan, they could temporarily wait. The first Lion Man had been chased out, and the first show of strength was successful. However, this wasn't enough for Lin Fei. He had to find another powerful one. The Beaming royal family had won the prize. It would really be a pity if he didn't get rid of this top 5 royal family. Beaming royal family, have you thought it through? Lin Fei smiled and said, I'm giving you a chance. If you answer and beg for mercy, you might still be able to stand here. There was no need to mention how sullen Hierarch Meng Qi was. If he could, he really wanted to go up and smash the Senfu, drag out the barbarian kid in the Senfu, and beat him up. However, Hierarch Meng Qi couldn't do it now. Barbarian kid, you win. In this Tomb of the Gods of the Gods of the Gods, we, the Beaming royal family, won't find trouble with you anymore. Wherever you appear, we will retreat. Is that good enough? Hierarch Meng Qi gritted his teeth and told himself that once he found an opportunity, he would definitely tear the barbarian kid into pieces. This kind of humiliation had to be washed away with the blood of the barbarian kid. Boom! Boom! The Senfu was still attacking. It was only a matter of time before it collapsed. Well said. Lin Fei smiled and said, Seeing that you've bowed down, I'll let this matter rest. Who asked the barbarians to be good people? Hierarch Meng Qi secretly breathed a sigh of relief. As long as the threat of the Senfu was gone, they could still withstand the attack of the thunderstorm. Hurry up and stop it. While Lin Fei was speaking, the Senfu's attacks were still falling on the protective shield on the platform. One wave after another, it didn't seem like it would stop. Barbarian kid, do you want to stop? Hierarch Meng Qi's expression was constantly changing as he roared at the barbarian kid from the Senfu. He was about to collapse. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. It's malfunctioning. I can't control it anymore. Panjian, who had been controlling it, really thought that it would stop. She didn't expect that it was just to fool the beaming royal family. She almost couldn't help but laugh. The beaming royal family will not rest until you die. The defense on the platform was instantly torn apart. The thunderstorm and the attack fell on the experts of the beaming royal family. In the blink of an eye, not a single expert of the beaming royal family was left, including Hierarch Meng Qi. I'm really sorry. I really didn't mean it. Lin Fei's voice echoed. Everyone rolled their eyes again. This was definitely intentional. First, he made the beaming royal family bow down, giving them hope, and then he destroyed them. This method was too vicious. I'm from the barbarian race, but I don't want to be enemies with everyone. However, if anyone really thinks that I'm easy to bully, I don't mind destroying both jade and stone together with you. It's not easy for the tomb of the god of sin to open. I hope everyone won't miss this opportunity. As for the Bimeng royal family and the Lion Man tribe, they asked for it. Lin Fei's voice fell in everyone's ears again. This time, everyone's expression was different. They really paid attention to this barbarian kid from the Senfu. Chapter 3240. At this time, no matter which royal family, they all understood one thing. This barbarian brat that appeared out of nowhere had strength that they couldn't ignore. Even if it was the might of Senfu, no one dared to ignore it. No one dared to ignore the brat. Even if they looked down on the brat's identity and strength, the brat who controlled Senfu couldn't help but take him seriously. With the night demon race being the first to express goodwill, the remaining royal families, after careful consideration, decided that, at least before leaving the god tomb, they couldn't offend the brat. Joining hands and pressuring him was better. The Beeman royal family and the Lion Man race were examples. Some royal families didn't take the initiative to greet the night demon race, treating them indifferently. As for the night demon race, they couldn't do it. A brat didn't make them take the initiative to express goodwill. Among the 8 royal clans, only the Night Demon clan and the Demon Eye clan acknowledged the existence of the brute race. The 3 god races didn't do anything and didn't say anything. They all saw the power of Senfu, who knew what other trump cards Senfu had. It wasn't worth it to act rashly. Once that happened, it would be very disadvantageous to their current situation. They were sure that the brat wouldn't dare to act again. Driving away 2 royal family members in a row was already the limit. If he continued to attack, the royal family members would give up the opportunity to make the brat of the barbarian race suffer the consequences. At that time, the 3 god races would all act. The 3 god clans had never cared about the battles between the royal clans. They could do whatever they wanted. Even if 2 royal clans were kicked out, the 3 god clans wouldn't say anything. After all, the barbarian race was a part of the divine beast continent. This was something that couldn't be erased. Master, you're so amazing. Even the royal families lowered their heads. Fire Phoenix was worshipping him 10,000 times. Those were all royal families. Even the god races didn't say anything. Huofeng didn't even dare to think about this before, afraid that the royal families would attack. This is nothing. If they really attack, I will let them know what regret is. Lin Fei snorted coldly. Prestige contributed a lot of prestige. Almost all of it was anger and unwillingness, killing intent filling the sky. This Titan tribe is interesting. Among the royal clans, the giants had the fewest contributions. They were even somewhat happy. This was completely different from the other royal clans. Ha ha ha! It seems like I've done a good deed indirectly. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. This was the first time he realized that apart from collecting prestige, Lin Fei could also distinguish between friend and foe. At least, in the current situation, the giant tribe didn't seem to hate him too much. As for the other 7 royal families, even the Night Demon race and Demon Eye race who took the initiative to express goodwill, they more or less hated him. The 3 great celestial tribes? This one seems to be from the ancient ape celestial tribe. Why do they want to kill me so badly? I didn't even dig up their ancestral graves. When Lin Fei saw the string of numbers, he was secretly shocked. He could not understand it. It was normal for the royal families to hate him, but the ancient ape celestial tribe actually had higher numbers than the royal families. This was not normal no matter how he looked at it. Wait! I remember that the 3 great celestial tribes said that the ancient ape celestial tribe was the oldest among the 3 great celestial tribes. They valued hierarchy the most. They seemed to have a very high bloodline. This explains why. They are an old-fashioned tribe that looks down on the lowly bloodline of the barbarians. This time, Lin Fei finally understood. Hee, I have to be careful of the ancient ape celestial tribe in the future. They will definitely cause trouble. Lin Fei remembered the ancient ape celestial tribe. Yes, they were a large producer of grain. It's out. Hurry up. Don't miss the opportunity. The thunderstorm ended very quickly. After the thunder clouds in the sky disappeared, colorful balls of light appeared. There were about 12 of them, and they instantly scattered in all directions. The royal family meta beasts on the platform all tried to snatch them. Master, I know what this is. I heard that after the 6th level, once you pass the test, you will be rewarded by the original ultimate god. This must be it. Huifeng was excited. Panjian also remembered. As a human, she had no fate with the original god's tomb. She did not know much about the scene in front of her. I also heard that the reward is different every time. The 10 great royal clans and 3 great celestial tribes are so strong. It has a lot to do with the original god's tomb. Panjian was telling the truth. Many of the 10 great royal clans' powerful treasures came from the original god's tomb. The treasures left behind by a top ultimate god were not as simple as they seemed. Each of them had terrifying power. The human clan had suffered a lot because of these treasures. Now that she saw it with her own eyes, Panjian could feel the powerful aura emitted by these treasures. Treasures? Lin Fei smiled. I have to participate in such a good thing. Since I'm here, I can't go back empty-handed. Go all the way and grab them. Lin Fei squinted his eyes. Lin Fei let Panjian control the Senfu and chase them all the way. The huge Senfu was on a rampage, and its speed was no slower than those meta-beast ultimate gods. The royal family soon showed a helpless and unwilling expression. The Senfu was straightforward and left the royal family in an awkward position. Block in front of them, they directly collided. I'm sorry, Senfu doesn't know how to turn. Fly further next time. Hearing such words, the royal family could do nothing but be angry. Go up and fight? Whether they could break the defense of Senfu was one thing. If the next thunderstorm came, they might end up like the Beeman royal family. On the 6th floor of the god's tomb, there were a total of 10 waves of thunderstorm, and each wave's power was different. They were really afraid that the barbarian brat would act recklessly. If that happened, their losses would be huge. For example, the Beeman royal family and the Lion Man tribe had suffered huge losses this time. Their overall strength would be affected to a certain extent. The 10 great royal families knew that the god's tomb had good things. If they missed it once, the strength of the royal families would change greatly. In the face of the barbarian brat's unruly behavior, they could do nothing but be angry. They could only change their target and not compete with the barbarian brat. There was really no need to do that. Master, I got one. The Senfu could not only attack, but also chase after treasures. It directly locked the position and shot the super infinite cannon, then took the opportunity to get the treasure. The flame phoenix grabbed onto the treasure happily. This seems to be a defensive treasure. Huofeng played with a small shield-like thing. Let's go grab another one. Lin Fei said with a smile. With 2 treasures, the rest of the royal family would not say anything. Chapter 3241. The 6th floor of the original tomb of the God of God was supposed to produce treasures. With Lin Fei riding on Senfu, the situation became completely different. Lin Fei, who had Senfu, was always successful in the 6th floor of the original tomb of the God of God. He would get 1 or 2 treasures after every thunderstorm. Even if he was unlucky, he would still get one. Lin Fei proved to everyone that the barbarian disciples were hot-tempered. However, Lin Fei had yet to touch their bottom line, so they could only turn a blind eye. On the other hand, they were very envious. They were able to snatch treasures every time. In the past, not every royal family could guarantee this. After the thunderstorm, the number of treasures was uncertain. Lin Fei had a harvest every time and was no less than the 3 great clans. The 3 great clans were above the 10 great royal clans. They dared not touch the treasures that the divine clans had their eyes on. Lin Fei's case was even simpler, as they did not have the ability to break through the Senfu. Although they disdained Lin Fei's behavior, there was nothing they could do. In Senfu, Panjian and Huofeng were very good at snatching treasures. Every time a treasure appeared, they could identify the power of the treasure in a short period of time. The treasures they obtained were all very good. Master, the last wave is coming. Huofeng was full of excitement as he obtained a treasure to protect himself. It was a mid-level ultimate god treasure that could even withstand a few attacks from a high-level ultimate god. The treasures produced in the original tomb of the God of God were so powerful. The last wave was coming. The thunderstorm attacked. That was not a problem for the Senfu. Instead, it increased a lot of attack energy. It was a pity that there was no target to attack for the time being. Lin Fei was not in a hurry, as there would be a target sooner or later. It would be strange if the royal clan could bear with it. He represented the barbarians, a lowly existence. It was no less than snatching food from the tiger's mouth. The 10th thunderstorm passed. Whoosh! Whoosh! 3 streams of light appeared. Each stream of light represented a treasure. Compared to the last time, there were a few fewer treasures, and only 3 appeared. The 3 god clans took the initiative to snatch the treasures in the flowing light. At the same time, they were very wary of the brute race kid in the immortal mansion. Until now, the brute race kid was like a mystery. The Senfu kid did not make a move against those 3 treasures. Surprisingly, the Senfu kid did not make a move against those 3 treasures. Out of everyone present, the only one who had the qualifications and strength to fight against the 3 god races was that brat from the barbarian race. With a tortoise shell and a domineering immortal abode, who would dare to underestimate him? The 3 god clans quickly snatched the 3 flowing light treasures. Their faces were filled with joy. Clearly, they were good items. At that moment, they looked at the Senfu kid with a lot of good things. The barbarian kid knew his limits. Inside the immortal abode, Lin Fei smiled. If I don't make a move, they'll really think that I'm afraid. When I make a move at the crucial moment, I'll definitely be able to reap another harvest. After checking some contributions, Lin Fei's smile became even brighter. It's out. Panjian's mood had never been good. She would be very happy about anything that could make the 3 great clans and the 10 great royal clans unhappy. It was a pity that she could not make a move, otherwise she would definitely let the 3 great clans experience what a crazy attack was like. Lin Fei looked out. A gigantic creature that was 3,000 meters tall appeared in the sky. If one were to calculate it, it would be 3,000 meters tall. It truly blotted out the sky and covered the sun. It was a bird-like existence. The ferocious aura swept over. Lin Fei stood in Senfu. The Senfu was also affected by the impact and actually shook a little. The essence beasts outside the Senfu were actually trembling under the ferocious aura. What kind of guardian is this? Lin Fei felt the dangerous aura coming from the guardian. Hufeng was so scared that she was lying down and shivering. It's so scary. Panjian was also trembling, slightly. The ferocious aura turned into a black wind and whistled over. At that moment, it could make people feel suffocated. It was definitely a terrifying scene. Regardless of whether it was the celestial race or the royal race, they all took out their treasures at this moment. Layers of protective shields were activated, blocking in front of them. Even the 3 celestial races, who had previously looked relaxed, became exceptionally serious at this moment. As soon as the guardian appeared, the overwhelming ferocious aura swept over, showing its terrifying and ferocious strength. Master, this is a ferocious bird. Rumor has it that it feeds on essence beasts. Hufeng was so scared that she dared not raise her head and said in a trembling voice. Lin Fei squinted his eyes. No wonder the 3 great clans and the 10 great royal clans have been stuck on this level. This guardian is really strong. Lin Fei judged the strength of the guardian. It was a high-level ultimate god guardian. It was at least a level 7 or level 8 ultimate god. If that was the case, the 3 great divine clans experts would have dealt with it long ago. Lin Fei believed there were other special aspects. Ferocious bird? That's its name? Lin Fei really could not figure out why the pitch-black guardian had such an ordinary name. Hufeng nodded like a chick pecking rice. Yes, that's the name. However, this guy has a strong background. It's said that ultimate god Yuan Ju brought it from another continent. It can unleash the strength of a peak level 9 ultimate god. Don't you think it's strong? Peak level 9 ultimate god. Lin Fei sucked in a breath of cold air. As a peak ultimate god Yuan Ju's strength was a little too strong. They were only on the 6th level. Do you want to go to the next level? The ferocious bird began to move. Whoosh! The ferocious bird moved extremely fast and rushed out with a whoosh. In an instant, everyone in the area that they were in was thrown off their feet. The protective shields of the 3 great divine clans and royal clans could not withstand the ferocious bird's wave of attack and suddenly fell into chaos. The sky was covered by the ferocious bird's attack. Lin Fei's Senfu also experienced the feeling of being knocked over. Yes, it was knocked over. The ferocious bird's strength was unbelievably strong. Just a single attack was enough to make people feel despair. I heard they were almost there last time. I don't know how they dealt with the ferocious bird. Lin Fei squinted and asked Panjian to control the Senfu to stay away from the ferocious bird. Ferocious bird, you defeated it last time. This time, we will definitely kill it. The ancient ape divine clan's expert opened a protective shield. Don't waste time. Let's kill the ferocious bird first. The immortal divine clan's expert also stood up. Kill. The 3 great divine clan's experts looked at each other and immediately took out their treasures. The ancient ape divine clan's expert took out a scepter with an ancient ape standing on top of it. After a while, a huge blue light ball appeared. Seal. The huge blue light ball instantly fell on the ferocious bird. The ferocious aura of the ferocious bird plummeted. Suppress. Chapter 3242. On the 6th floor of the god's tomb, a dangerous scene appeared. The 3 god clans took out 3 powerful treasures and immediately suppressed the strength of the raptor. The 10 royal clans and the 8 royal clans immediately besieged the raptor. The 8 royal clans and the 3 god clans gathered together to besiege the raptor. The raptor was also filled with hostility. Even if its strength was temporarily suppressed, it could still shake the 3 treasures and unleash powerful and terrifying attacks again and again. The shields shook incessantly. The 3 god clans are indeed the 3 god clans. They actually have such good things. Lin Fei did not make a move for the time being. He watched quietly and let the little devil collect information about the treasures so that he could be prepared. There had always been a lot of rumors about the 3 god clans. It was difficult to tell who was the real one without seeing it with his own eyes. Now that there was such a good opportunity, how could Lin Fei be willing to miss it? The scepter of the ancient ape clan is not bad. It can seal half of my strength. I wonder if it has any effect on my physical body. Lin Fei could feel that the power of the raptor had been sealed. Now that the raptor had half of its strength left, it was still not easy to deal with. The attacks of the 10 royal clans fell on the raptor, and some of them were reflected. This was amazing. The rest of the attacks only made the raptor bleed. Looking at the situation, it would take a long time to kill and defeat the raptor. Just as Lin Fei had guessed, the raptor was strong. Even after being sealed, its strength could not be underestimated. Its body had a special skin that could reflect damage. 80% of the attacks were reflected. The 3 god clans and the 8 royal clans besieged the raptor for a full 30 years. For 30 years, they repeated every action. This was a huge test for any Essence Beast powerhouse. It's really a super boss. It's been 30 years, but it's still as stable as Mount Tai. Lin Fei had a good life in the past 30 years. From time to time, he would beat the raptor, but it did not make the 3 god clans dissatisfied. Master, the raptor is about to die. A wave of killing moves is coming. Huofeng was still trembling in front of the ferocious bird. She was much better than before. At least she could speak more fluently. After fighting for such a long time, everyone knew vicious birds kill or move like the back of their hands. They had to admit that this guy's life was really tough. Under such a siege, he was still alive and kicking. If it was just a single ultimate god, they would be annihilated no matter how many came. Barbarian boy, the savage bird is about to enter berserk mode. I hope you can use Senfu to block the savage bird. An expert of the ancient ape gods asked. That's right, your Senfu's defense is strong. If you can help us resist the raptor's attack, you will be our hero this time. These were the words of the immortal divine race. The last mad mode of the bird lasts for the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. During that time, the bird is almost invincible. It doesn't fear any attacks. Every time we fail, I hope you can stop the bird. That was Breaking Sun God Race's voice. The 3 god clans only had one intention, and that was that they hoped that Lin Fei would use the immortal abode to resist the attack of the raptors. After seeing the savage bird, Lin Fei knew that they could not pass the 6th level because of the savage bird. Every time they would be annihilated. The 6th level of the Tomb of the God of Sin was already like this. Lin Fei was even more interested in the 7th level. Master, if you want something, you can have the savage bird's body. Little Devil suddenly said. Body. You can modify it. Lin Fei could see that if the savage bird's body did not disappear after it died, it would definitely be a top-notch item. This is a good material for modification. This is a rare opportunity for Master. Little Devil said. Master, if you want to gain prestige, you must fight against stronger enemies. The more things like this, the better. Lin Fei thought about it and agreed. Although he was very strong now and did not care about the experts of the Divine Beast Continent, he might not lose if they fought, but the world had changed. If the Divine Beast Continent was like this, what about the other 3 continents? According to the news, the 3rd continent would open in at most 10,000 years. Perhaps it would be a more powerful continent. Lin Fei needed to accumulate a large amount of prestige and increase his strength within this period of time. I can help you, but the savage bird's body must belong to me. Lin Fei said loudly. This is my only request. You can think about it. The 3 god clans were all cursing. They were not fools. The savage bird had blocked their path time and time again. Even after its death, it was still priceless. Now, this brat from the barbarian race was asking for an exorbitant price and swallowing the corpse of the savage bird. He did not take them seriously. Lin Fei said the second sentence. I don't care, but it's different for you guys. This sentence was very lethal. In order to enter the 7th level, the celestial race had failed countless times. Even if they developed special treasures, they would fail every time. But this time they saw hope. They didn't know where the barbarian kid got the senfu from. It was an exaggerated mess, but it gave them hope. With the senfu supporting them, it was not unrealistic to bear the savage bird's final madness. Barbarian kid, say that again. Believe it or not, I will destroy the barbarians and enslave them all. The ancient ape divine race's high-level god, Gusher, said fiercely. Everyone could feel the boundless killing intent. The divine race's prestige was nothing more than this. I don't care if you kill the barbarians. Lin Fei laughed and said, I'll kill as many of you as you kill them. I wonder if you're afraid. How dare you? Ancient stone divine lord roared. A faint shadow appeared behind him, pounding its chest and roaring. Lin Fei could not help but give ancient stone divine lord a thumbs up when he saw the prestige. He was a big producer. In just a few words, the savage bird's expression changed. It was about to enter a crazy and invincible state. A violent aura surged. I'm so scared. Come and kill me. If you don't, you're an idiot. Lin Fei stood on the senfu and gave ancient stone divine lord the middle finger. Okay, stop arguing. Immortal divine lord stood up. Brother Gu, calm down. It's just a corpse. What's the big deal? We've been stuck on the 6th floor for a long time. If we can make it, we'll get more benefits. Let's give the savage bird's corpse to the barbarian kid. I believe no one has anything to say. The breaking sun divine lord agreed. The leaders of the cities had no objections either. The savage bird is in a crazy and invincible state. The savage bird's body exploded with an invincible aura. All the treasures on its body were shaken away. Chapter 32:43. The vicious bird swooped down like a stream of light with its entire body shrouded in black light. It was formed by the convergence of boundless hostility, and all kinds of negative emotions were struggling and roaring in the black light. Before it arrived, the dark emotions in the black light attacked head-on, making people feel depressed and uncomfortable. A huge storm rolled over, and the protective shield was instantly torn apart. The storm was like a knife, cutting bodies into pieces. The flaunting soul beast powerhouses were torn to pieces in the blink of an eye in front of the berserk and invincible birds. They couldn't even struggle. Crash! The pair of wings swept across, and the protective shield was also broken. All the meta-beast experts were cut in half at the waist. The vicious bird, which had fallen into a frenzied and invincible mode, was rampaging. No force could withstand such an impact as the vicious bird exerted its power to the fullest. Brat, we don't want the corpse. Hurry up and attack. As long as you can restrain the vicious bird, we have no objections. Hurry up, we can't hold on any longer. In just a few moments, many forces were defeated and their powerhouses were killed. In front of the vicious bird, no one could withstand a single blow. Even the royal clans were the same at this time. Their faces were full of helplessness and unwillingness. The 3 major clans could only change their words and solve the crisis of the vicious bird. The royal clans had nothing to say, and so did the city lords and leaders. In the territory of the divine beast continent, the city lords and leaders really didn't dare to interrupt too much. After all, this was the territory of the divine beast continent. If it wasn't for the backing behind them, they wouldn't have a good ending if they dared to step into the divine beast continent. Damn, the 3 major clans have developed killing intent towards me. They changed their words, but the emotional changes in their hearts were clearly seen by Lin Fei. He couldn't help but sneer in his heart. Looks like we're going to have a big fight later. Among the 3 major clans, the one with the least killing intent was the immortal divine clan. This is what you said. The vicious bird's corpse belongs to me. Everyone heard it. If you dare to be lazy, I guarantee you will regret it. The three major clans and the royal clans didn't take Lin Fei's words seriously. Revenge on the divine clan? You'd better save it. The three divine clans were led by peak ultimate gods. One was a god while the other was a king. That was the biggest difference. Our celestial race means what we say, ancient stone divinity Venerable said. Now we can stop the raptors. All right. Lin Fei agreed in front of everyone. Ram them. It was time to show off. The immortal palace turned into a blur, and with a whoosh, it smashed into the ferocious bird, blocking its rampage. The huge body of the immortal palace was sent flying 100,000 meters away. Keep hitting. Lin Fei checked Senfu and was relieved to see that there were no problems. Let me. Huifeng insisted on fighting a vicious bird by herself, which was something she would never dare to do even in her dreams. No problem. The Senfu's speed reached its peak and slammed into the raptor once again. After the raptor entered into its mad invincible mode, it actually clashed with the Senfu. Its wings slashed and its huge body slammed. The space continued to collapse and then restored to its original state. The cycle repeated itself. Again and again, powerful collisions occurred. The royal clans and the leaders of the cities were all beaming with joy. Finally resisted. What a powerful Senfu! The barbarian kid has made a great contribution. They watched as the barbarian kid's Senfu resisted the raptor's attack and even clashed head-on with the terrifying power of each collision. The Senfu was too invincible and terrifying. A strange expression flashed across the faces of the experts from the three major clans. The strength of the Senfu was beyond their expectations. In the eyes of the three major clans, they hoped that the barbarian kid and the raptor would both suffer. That would be the best outcome, but the current situation was far from ideal. The collision between the Senfu and the raptor lasted for an hour. After another loud bang, the raptor's huge body was sent flying. This time, it flew hundreds of millions of miles. The raptor's huge body in midair made a sharp sound, and more than half of its body was shattered, becoming a bloody mess. It's dead. Lin Fei had been paying attention to the raptor. This scene came without warning. The Senfu's attack actually killed the raptor. What a joke! The raptor that flew out lost its fierce aura. Come in. Lin Fei stretched out his hand and grabbed the raptor's body. The black power formed a wave of impact, but it couldn't do anything to the current Lin Fei. It's still powerful even after death. Lin Fei grabbed the raptor and dragged it towards the Senfu. Voila! Without warning, a cold light flashed in the void and slashed at Lin Fei's arm. There was more than one such cold light. A total of 6 appeared, and they were extremely powerful. One of the cold light followed the arm and went straight to Lin Fei in the Senfu. The three major clans made their move at this moment. Even if the raptor was dead, it was still a precious treasure. How could they be willing to give it to a barbarian kid? That would be a slap in the face. First, they would cut off the barbarian kid's arm. Lin Fei's arm was extremely strong. Several attacks landed on it, but they were all bounced off in the next second and blasted into the void. Lin Fei's perfect body was at the peak, and his defense was top-notch. Sneak attack? Then you're doomed to be disappointed. As for the power that secretly infiltrated, it quickly disappeared. The three major clans also made their moves secretly. After all, they still wanted to save face. It would be too embarrassing if they did it in front of so many people. No one would say anything if they did it secretly. However, when the killer move bounced off the barbarian kid's arm, the experts from the three major clans felt uneasy. That was an attack from a high-level ultimate god. By the time they realized it, the raptor's huge body had already entered the Senfu. They could only grit their teeth. As soon as the raptor entered the Senfu, a boundless, murderous aura pressed down on them. Pan Jiayin and Huifeng could not bear it on the spot. The suffocating feeling made them feel like they were going to die in the next second. Lin Fei waved his hand and suppressed the raptor's boundless, murderous aura. "All right, it's fine now." Lin Fei was very satisfied with the corpse, as it was definitely a good thing. The divine clan is really loyal. I'll gladly accept this raptor's corpse. Lin Fei laughed. Those words were unpleasant to the divine clan's ears, as if they had eaten a fly. To the 7th floor, Ancient Stone Divine Venerable led the Ancient Ape Divine Clan into the 7th floor of the Tomb of the Gods of Yuanju. The Immortal Divine Clan and Breaking Sun Divine Clan entered the 7th floor one after another. Let's go in and see what's in the 7th floor left behind by a top-level ultimate god. Lin Fei let Huifeng control the Senfu and chased after them. Those from the royal clan could only let the Senfu pass first. Unknowingly, the Senfu controlled by the barbarian kid had an influence no less than the divine clan. Chapter 3244. P.S. There was an accident yesterday. Sorry. The 7th floor of the tomb of the original sentence god was open. Everyone wanted to know what the 7th floor was like. For the sake of the 7th floor, many experts had died here. Now they could finally explore it, although this time with the help of the barbarian boy. Everyone was more or less grateful to the barbarian boy. If it weren't for him, they would have to wait until the next floor. But everyone understood one thing. Once the barbarian boy left the tomb of the original sentence god, he would not have a good ending. The 3 divine clans would definitely deal with the barbarian boy. He stole everyone's limelight. Now the barbarian boy only had one last chance to live. Master, it's the 7th floor of the tomb of the original sentence god. I never thought I could come here in my life, Huifeng said excitedly. She worshipped the master who robbed her halfway. I wonder what the 7th floor is like. Panjian's mood was also very complicated. She thought that the barbarian boy would suffer all kinds of torture. In fact, she was prepared to die, but the result was different from what she imagined. With the help of the barbarian boy, she killed many experts of the royal family. Even the 3 divine clans could only turn a blind eye to it. Panjian really didn't dare to imagine that this kind of thing would happen to a barbarian boy. Until now, she still didn't know who this barbarian boy was. She just felt that it was too strange. Do you know what's on the 7th floor of the tomb of the original sentence god? Lin Fei asked. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a loud bang. The Senfu, where Lin Fei was attacked by a wave of attacks. The whole Senfu shook. Panjian and Huifeng were sent flying on the spot. Lin Fei didn't move and looked outside. At this time, the scene outside the Senfu also changed. The 3 divine clans who came in first were now nowhere to be found. But one thing was certain, they were also in a bad situation. Several waves of people seemed to have chased out. Outside the Senfu, dense beam attacks fell on the Senfu like raindrops. In the distance, fortress-like cities built on mountains were continuously making their way towards this place. The beam of light illuminated the area. Outsiders kill without mercy. The sharp voice reverberated between heaven and earth. Attacks rained down on the immortal mansion as well as this region. The royal family, city lords, and leaders who came out later didn't have such a good ending. They were all killed on the spot. In front of this violent attack, they were so weak that they couldn't take a single blow. Let's go. I can't block it. These attacks all have the penetrative attribute. Damn it. Apart from the high-level ultimate gods who were able to withstand the attack, the rest of the ultimate gods were quickly killed. The royal city leaders suffered heavy casualties. Everyone was looking forward to finding something good on the 7th floor of the divine tomb of the gods. But in the end, they encountered such a violent attack, beating them to a pulp. The leaders of the royal city, lords, were all battered and exhausted. Their bodies were full of wounds, and blood was flowing out. Looking at the Senfu who was resisting the fierce attacks, they couldn't help but feel envious and jealous. Brat from the barbarian tribe, Please allow us to enter the Senfu." Even though the high-level ultimate gods had taken out their treasures, it was still very difficult for them to withstand the attacks. These attacks were very strange. It was as if they could innately penetrate the defenses of meta-beasts. The penetrative attribute was also very strange. Seeing the experts they brought being killed one by one, they kept cursing. Who knew that there would be life on the 7th floor of the divine tomb of the gods, and that it could control special attacks? Who would be able to stop such a situation? As for escaping, they didn't have a chance at all. Perhaps there was some kind of restriction in that area, but high-level ultimate gods could not move at all. It was as if they were stuck in a pool of mud. That was the most ridiculous thing. The high-level ultimate gods of the royal family didn't want to leave just like that, so they could only ask for help from the barbarian tribe. If they could enter the Senfu, they might not have to leave the divine tomb of the gods. Those royal family experts also heard and showed joy on their faces. They could hide in the Senfu of the barbarian tribe kid. That was their only chance. Inside the immortal mansion, Lin Fei's gaze was fixed on a mountain range a billion miles away. There were many cities built there, and on top of those cities there were many cannons. At that time, those forts on those cities were constantly shooting out light beams. Top ultimate gods are really something. They still have their lives in the divine tomb of the gods. I guess the 3 major clans and the royal family are all confused now. The light beams shot out by those forts were very terrifying. It didn't have a big impact on the Senfu. The first attack was just an accident. The Senfu with tens of billions of prestige was not that fragile. Are they asking for protection? Lin Fei smiled when he heard their words. The royal family also had such a day. They wanted to kill him before. Do you think we should let them in? Lin Fei asked Panjian with a smile. Panjian did not know what to say. Why did he ask her? Subconsciously, she wanted to tell him not to come in, and it would be best if they all died outside. You're the master. I have no right to decide. Panjian lowered her head. Lin Fei wanted to gain a lot of prestige. The royal family was a big producer of food. It made no difference whether he saved them or not. He could gain prestige anyway. Whoever wants to come to my Senfu, just shout "Barbarian Tribe Kid is mighty" 3 times, and I'll let you in. In the end, Lin Fei let them in. If the 7th floor of the divine tomb of the gods was like that, what about the 8th and 9th floors? He was really looking forward to it. The high-level ultimate gods near the Senfu were not happy when they heard that. The barbarian tribe kid was too arrogant. Was he admitting that they were inferior to the barbarian tribe kid? There was no end to the waves of attacks. It would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens if they wanted to rush out. However, they really couldn't lower their heads and ask for help from a brat from the barbarian tribe. You don't have to shout. Just come again next time. Lin Fei's voice was heard again. Barbarian tribe kid is mighty and domineering. Barbarian tribe kid is mighty and domineering. The high-level ultimate gods from the Night Demon clan shouted when everyone was still wondering if they should shout. There was no one else there, so it did not matter if they shouted. Don't move. The Senfu will guide you in. Lin Fei smiled and looked at the Night Demon clan. He did not want to kill them and asked Huifeng to activate the guiding function. Beams of light fell on the high-level ultimate gods and guided them over. The Night Demon clan members were guided up by the Senfu and the beams were deflected. There were only 3 high-level ultimate gods left in the Night Demon clan, and they secretly sighed in relief. This Senfu is scarier than we thought. Chapter 32:45. The Night Devil clan was the first to go up to Senfu, giving the experts of the royal clans a huge blow. While cursing, everyone had to consider whether they should temporarily flatter the brat from the barbarian tribe. Otherwise, they would really be driven out of the 7th level of the tomb of the god of sin. Brat from the barbarian tribe is mighty. Brat from the barbarian tribe is mighty. In the face of benefits, lowering one's head was nothing. After the Night Demon Clan, the Royal High-Level Ultimate Gods from the Inferno Clan, Demon Eye Clan, Woodmen Clan, and Three-Eyed Clan all went up to Senfu. They were finally relieved when the light beams were gone. They had never felt that standing in Senfu was such an enjoyable thing. Looking at the wounds on each other's bodies, they became quite afraid of the 7th level of the Tomb of the God of Sin. Who knew that there would be life on this level? Our Tiger Tribe also wants to go up. The Tiger Man tribe's high-level ultimate god was anxious. Even if he looked down on the brat from the Barbarian tribe, he had no choice but to lower his head at this moment, unless he was willing to leave the tomb of the god of origin. Sorry, I'm not interested in your royal family. Lin Fei smiled. So, you're not qualified to come up here. The Tiger Man tribe's high-level ultimate god almost vomited blood. He had finally shouted, but was not allowed to enter. He did not intend to disqualify them from the 7th level of the Tomb of the God of Sin. No, let us go up. 5 members of the royal family came up. Lin Fei ordered Hoofing to leave this area. Lin Fei chose to ignore the Tiger Man tribe's high-level ultimate god's words. The Senfu tribe opened up a line of defense and fired the super infinity cannon to tear open a path. Watching Senfu leave, the Tiger Men, the golden battle gods, and the giants were dumbfounded. Murderous intent quickly enveloped his body. At this moment he was filled with hatred. Why didn't that brat let them go to Senfu? In the face of the ferocious attacks from afar, they really couldn't hold on any longer. Originally, they had pinned their hopes on the Senfu. As a dignified member of the royal family, the brat from the barbarian tribe would have to give them some face. But now, it seemed that the brat from the barbarian tribe was like a stone in a latrine pit, smelly and hard. When I get out, I'll definitely kill that brat from the barbarian race. The Tiger Man tribe's high-level ultimate god's killing intent surged. Meanwhile, in a place connected by forts on the mountain, the densely packed cannons, one after the other, were all aimed at that place. That Senfu has left. We can't stop him. Among all the fortresses, there was a huge fortress that stood out like a crane among a flock of chickens. On a platform in the castle stood a powerhouse with a powerful aura. This person's gaze was so sharp that it seemed as if the void was about to be torn apart. I can't believe there's still a Senfu that can move in the tomb of the god of Yuan-gu. The expert watched as the Senfu left. Men, immediately mobilize all the experts to besiege that Senfu. We must take it down. Understood. The dozens of experts standing behind this expert disappeared in an instant. The chance to leave has come. Divinity Yuan-ju, you didn't expect this, right? There's actually someone who can break through your law suppression. Hee. This expert took a step forward and disappeared with a swoosh. Senfu charged out of the range of the artillery fire. Outside of this area, the sporadic attacks were still coming, but they had no effect on the immortal mansion. At that moment, the scene on that level could finally be seen clearly. There was nothing but desolate mountains that stretched as far as the eye could see. These mountains were all bare, without anything growing on them. Instead, there was a hint of a strange luster in the bare areas. The 7th and 6th levels were completely different. The 7th level is interesting. Lin Fei glanced outside and walked forward to the Senfu's hall. The 5 royal clan high-level ultimate gods were there. There were a total of 18 high-level ultimate gods. Everyone, do you know the situation on the 7th level? Lin Fei asked as soon as he came up. The 18 high-level ultimate gods looked at the barbarian kid with an unnatural expression on their faces. It was shameful for a high-level ultimate god to be sheltering a barbarian kid in the Senfu. However, several of the high-level ultimate gods were quite dissatisfied with the way the other party spoke to them in a condescending tone. In the Beast Divine continent, high-level ultimate gods were like God. I'm Yi-Shir-San from the Night Demon Clan. I should know a little about the situation on the 7th level. The Night Demon Clan was almost all shrouded in black robes. Lin Fei could see that the Night Demon Clan did not hate him much and nodded slightly. You can call me Lin Fei and tell me about the situation on this level. Lin Fei. They finally knew the barbarian kid's name. However, the name sounded quite strange. They searched in their minds and could not find anyone with that surname in the barbarian tribe. They had never heard of any powerful geniuses appearing in the barbarian tribe. Brother Lin, don't be angry if I say it's not right. I only know this from ancient books. Yi Shi-san revealed a pair of eyes. It said that after Ultimate God Yuanju became a top-level Ultimate God, he broke into other continents in order to break through to a higher realm and got a lot of good stuff. Later on, experts from other continents crossed continents and fought. Sporadic news came out saying that Ultimate God Yuanju had captured some people, but I don't know the specifics. If I'm not wrong, there are probably experts locked up on the 7th level and above. Realization dawned on Lin Fei. So that was the case. Everything made sense then. Ultimate God Yuanju had captured some people and probably wanted to know something. However, he died before he could ask anything. Those people controlled this level, and after a long time, their population had also multiplied. If the 7th level was already like this, would there be top-level ultimate gods locked up on the 8th and 9th levels? A strange thought came to Lin Fei's mind. Master, something is catching up. Panjian came over to report the situation. Something? Lin Fei looked out and saw warships suddenly rushing out of the mountains. Yes, they were warships. The warships were full of cannons and were bombarding the moving Senfu. Such warships rushed out from all directions, some in front, some behind, and some at the front, fighting their way over. The light beams also came with various attributes. For a moment, colorful light beams appeared in the sky above Senfu. The various attributes could combine with each other to form a more terrifying attack. The Senfu was pinned down. Are they targeting my Senfu? Lin Fei touched his chin and secretly admired those guys for being able to create so many warships. Each of them looked extremely high quality with great offensive and defensive capabilities. The high-level ultimate gods who had boarded the Senfu looked even worse. There were at least 100,000 warships, and they would not be able to withstand such an attack. They could vaguely feel that some of those light beams could threaten them. That was terrifying. Chapter 3246. The warships in the sky were densely packed together, and the scene was quite shocking. The light beams fired by the warships also converged together to form a colorful blockade. The royal clans that were initially targeted, such as the Tiger Men tribe, Golden War God tribe, and the Giant Clan, had their eyes lit up. Our chance is here. Let's break out of the encirclement immediately. The barbarian kid is in trouble. They were originally in despair, but were now excited. The barbarian kid was a good man. He had helped them attract the firepower. With less than half of the ferocious attacks, the 3 royal clans' high-level ultimate gods worked together to break out of the encirclement and forcefully carved out a bloody path. Barbarian kid, thank you for helping us attract the firepower. The 3 royal clans laughed when they separated. That's what you get for pretending to be powerful. Now, enjoy the feast from the original 7th level natives. In Senfu, more than a dozen high-level ultimate god experts looked at each other. They finally got out of danger, but immediately became the target of attack. What should they say? Leave? They wanted to do that too. Unfortunately, they could not do it. Senfu was very mysterious. Even they could not figure out the origin of Senfu, let alone crack the secrets of Senfu. Don't be nervous. The natives are no threat. Lin Fei was very calm. Of course, you can leave if you want. I won't stop you, since I've always been a good person. Good person? The high-level ultimate god experts sneered. No one was willing to leave under such circumstances. No matter how stupid they were, they knew the natives on that level were very cruel and even more terrifying than they imagined. If they left now, they would definitely die. Brother Lin, you must be joking. Why would we leave? Yishur San was the first to speak. He knew the situation outside was terrible. Leaving would only mean death. Same goes for us. The high-level ultimate gods dared not leave Senfu. Those warships alone were a terrible threat. What about the natives hidden in the depths? Who knew if they had other abilities? They dared not take the risk. They could only wait quietly. Lin Fei looked at the light outside and smiled happily. My Senfu's defense is very good. Don't worry if anyone wants to go out. Just tell me, and I'll let you go. Lin Fei disappeared with a whoosh. Everyone can walk around freely. Don't worry about running into danger. Amidst the mountains, the densely packed battleships were constantly activating their cannons and firing out a series of light beams. The huge Senfu was completely surrounded. Colorful colors covered Senfu. No one knew that Senfu was continuously absorbing the energy from the light beam attacks. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, half a month, 1 month, 2 months. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed. It's been 3 months. I've underestimated the power of Senfu. On top of the huge castle, that person said leisurely. The subordinates behind him all knelt on the ground, not daring to breathe loudly. Their king was angry. We're attacking with all our strength and will probably break through Senfu soon. Senfu will soon reach its limit after absorbing the light beam attacks. We'll definitely break through Senfu. The subordinates were helpless. For an immortal abode to have such a strong defense was truly beyond imagination. No one knew how many ultimate god experts had been killed in 3 months. Even if they were high-level ultimate gods, no matter how many of them came, they would all die. However, they really met their match this time. They could not break through Senfu even though they had gathered 300,000 warships to attack it. Father, leave this to me. A wave of fluctuation came from the void as a purple whirlwind appeared and condensed into a beautiful figure. It turned out to be a woman in a purple palace dress. She had purple hair and purple eyes. From head to toe, there was nothing else but purple. Little Z doesn't need to do such a small thing. It's a waste. The woman in the purple palace dress smiled faintly. It's not easy for outsiders to come. It'll be a pity if we don't go and take a look. Besides, we can ignore the rules set by the ultimate god Yuanju. I'm more interested in the people in Senfu. I'm afraid I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't go and take a look. All right, go ahead then. Thank you, Father. The woman in the purple palace dress disappeared without a trace. The warship's attack on the immortal mansion never stopped. Senfu was like a sky-devouring beast, constantly absorbing the energy of the attacks. It had accumulated a huge amount of energy in 3 months. It's time to go out and take a look. Although it seemed like they had affected the immortal mansion, Lin Fei couldn't be bothered with them. The attacks of the immortal mansion weren't limited to the infinite super cannons. We've absorbed enough energy. We can go out now. Let's see who those natives are. Lin Fei ordered Huifeng to ram her way through. Master, enemies have sneaked into your Senfu. Just as Lin Fei was about to order Huifeng to make a move, the little devil suddenly reminded Jian Wushuang. Enemies have sneaked in. Lin Fei was very surprised that someone could sneak into Senfu with tens of billions of reputation. What a joke. Lin Fei did not believe it. In the next second, there was an attack energy fluctuation coming from Senfu. What the hell? Lin Fei did not think those high-level ultimate gods were bored enough to make a move. They did not have the guts to make a move in his Senfu. When they arrived at the place where the energy fluctuation occurred, Lin Fei really saw a purple figure toying with more than a dozen high-level ultimate gods in the palm of his hand. You're too weak. I'm standing here. Hurry up and hit me. A purple figure stood on top of a rockery and allowed more than a dozen high-level ultimate gods to attack. They could not gain any advantage as all their attacks seemed to have been diverted. A human girl. Lin Fei was very surprised that the other party was not a meta-beast. More than a dozen high-level ultimate gods could not break the purple-clothed woman's defense at that moment. She seemed to be too strong. Lin Fei did not stop her. It was Lin Fei's first time encountering someone who could pass through Senfu and come in. Little devil, didn't you say that Senfu is very powerful? Why did someone sneak in? Who can stop them if they want to assassinate me? Lin Fei complained. Master, this is an accident. There are many experts in this world. For example, this person in front of you is actually a special life form. That's why he can enter Senfu. While Lin Fei and the little devil were talking, the purple-clothed woman shouted softly and stretched out a fair palm to grab them. Bang! 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 More than a dozen high-level ultimate gods' bodies were blasted with bloody holes under their strong defense. Balls of energy flew out of their bodies and constantly reassembled before floating in front of the purple-clothed woman. Thump! Thump! The dozen high-level ultimate gods collapsed to the ground with no energy left in their bodies. You're a special life form. Chapter 3247. Special life form. Those 4 words seem to have magical powers. The dozen or so high-level ultimate gods were horrified. No one knew better than them how special life forms were born. No one knew how they were born. But every special life form was ridiculously powerful. Countless experts had died in the hands of special life forms. There was no special life form in the beast divine continent, and they had almost forgotten about this ancient existence. However, the scene in front of them told them that special life forms did exist and were much more terrifying than they had imagined. The dozen of high-level ultimate gods could not even withstand a single blow from the opponent. They really had to admit defeat this time. Looks like you're not stupid after all. You know about special life forms. The lady in purple smiled and opened her mouth to swallow the huge energy ball that contained the energy of more than a dozen high-level ultimate gods. She swallowed it in one gulp and refined it completely. I'm not here for you today. The lady in purple looked in one direction. Master of Senfu, why don't you come out since you're here? Don't you want to have a good chat? Lin Fei did not deliberately hide anything. The lady in purple was not a simple person to be able to discover him. You're very powerful to be able to enter my Senfu. Lin Fei revealed himself and looked at the lady in purple. Can you tell me who you are? Lin Fei was very calm, even if the other party was a special life form. The lady in purple frowned slightly when she saw him. You're actually a lowly barbarian. That's unbelievable. If the tomb of the god of Yuanju knew about this, he would probably die of anger. Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. Looks like you know ultimate god Yuanju. You should be quite familiar with the tomb of the god of Yuanju. How about this, you be my guide? The 7th floor is just the beginning. My goal is the 10th floor. Let's see what that person left behind. The purple-clothed woman giggled. I heard that the barbarians are very arrogant. It's true. You want me to be your guide? I don't know if you have the strength to do so. I've been to the 8th and 9th floors. As long as you have the ability, I'll satisfy you. But if you don't have the strength, then I'll torture you. I guarantee that you'll want to die. The dozen high-level ultimate gods on the ground could not produce any energy in their bodies, as if their strength was sealed there. Listening to the conversation between the two, one could not help but admire the barbarian's courage. That was a special life form. Although they were high-level ultimate god experts who could dominate a region, and even human experts had to bow their heads in front of them, there were nothing in front of the special life forms. He was defeated in one move. Killing them was as easy as slaughtering chickens and dogs. If they knew that there were special life forms on the 7th floor, they would not have dared to come here. After all, any special life form was extremely terrifying and was said to be unkillable. 500,000 years ago, a special life form appeared in the beast divine continent. The Beast Divine Continent's experts were dispatched to capture the special life form, but suffered a huge loss in front of the special life form. In the end, the top ultimate gods took action to capture the special life form at a great cost. Even if the special life form in front of him looked delicate and had the strength to easily kill a high-level ultimate god, the barbarian kid might have acted tough in front of the Protoss, but he would definitely be defeated in front of the special life form. In the eyes of a high-level ultimate god, Lin Fei's barbarian brat was merely relying on Senfu. Without Senfu, he was nothing and could be easily killed. You make the first move. Let me see how powerful the special life form is. Lin Fei did not know the origin of the special life form. He was naturally not a simple person since he was already at the peak of the perfect physical body and had a lot of prestige. He did not care about a special life form. Lest I bully you and don't give you a chance to attack. Lin Fei smiled. Yi Shi-san and the others shook their heads in disappointment. This barbarian kid was really good at pretending. The special life form was really arrogant. Newborn calves were not afraid of tigers. The woman in purple was very clear about the power of the tomb of the god of Yuanju. It had trapped them and prevented them from leaving. An immortal's abode had undoubtedly given them hope, but in the end it was a brat from the barbarian tribe who had the immortal's abode. She almost suspected that there was a mistake. Even if she did not leave, she knew about the barbarians back then. They were the lowliest existence that anyone could bully. If she was not a part of the Beast Divine Continent, she would have been killed and enslaved. The woman in purple was ready to teach a barbarian a lesson for being so arrogant in front of her. She wanted to spare his life in order to let Senfu in. Not bad. The woman in purple chuckled with a flash of disdain. She completely looked down on that guy. No one had ever dared to say such words in front of a special life form. Even a peak ultimate god would not dare. You're the first person to say such words. I've decided to let you see the real art of killing. The woman in purple smiled as she stretched out her jade-like hand and grabbed in Lin Fei's direction. Come here. Lin Fei suddenly felt an endless power shrouding him, as if an invisible big hand was grabbing him and dragging him in front of the woman in purple. Is this a special life form that controls energy? If so, it's really terrifying. Lin Fei saw a high-level ultimate god being defeated in one move. That kind of attack became overbearing after losing the energy in his body. How many people could withstand that kind of attack? Any expert who lost the energy in his body would become a fish on the chopping board and could be killed at will. Unfortunately, this is useless against me. Lin Fei just stood there as the invisible big hand could not move Lin Fei's body. He was as still as a rock. You want me to go over? I'll lose face. I won't go over even if you beat me to death. Lin Fei said seriously, Why don't you come over and see what you want to see? I promise you'll see it clearly. A strange look flashed in the woman's purple eyes. You're really a special existence. No wonder you can come here and control a Senfu. You're really getting more and more interesting. The woman in purple's grab was not very strong as she looked down on the barbarian kid. How about this? The invisible energy suddenly increased in power. Lin Fei's skin also slightly sunk as the force of the grab increased. Come out. The woman in purple shouted again. The energy in Lin Fei's body was about to rush out, but was finally suppressed by a force and could not break through. You're really capable. The woman in purple's interest was piqued as he managed to block several attacks from the woman in purple with his not very strong body. Burst! Chapter 3248. That explosion caused a huge wave to spread out from Lin Fei's body. The expressions of those high-level ultimate gods changed as it was too terrifying. His body was the size of a rubber ball, and the second explosion happened before he could withstand it. Boom! 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 More than 10 explosions continued to explode in Lin Fei's body. His body kept changing from big to small. The purple-clothed woman smiled brightly. How is it? Does it feel good? It's just starting, and all the energy in your body will be drained. No matter how strong your body is, you won't be able to resist after losing your source of power. The explosion was extremely powerful. However, he was unable to tear apart Lin Fei's physical body. Not just anyone could tear apart a perfect physical body at its peak. There were more than 20 energy explosions, and each one was stronger than the one before. Lin Fei could not control those energies and had witnessed how powerful special life forms were. It was really bad luck for anyone to encounter them. Unfortunately, he was not an ordinary expert. If you bow your head and beg for mercy now, I can spare you the pain. Let me remind you that these explosions will get stronger and stronger until you can't bear it anymore. The purple-clothed woman was a special life form and was born to control energy. She could perfectly control any energy flowing between heaven and earth. As for her strength, it could be described as a top-level ultimate god. Special life forms were born to be that powerful. The purple-clothed woman could easily take down a barbarian kid. Special life forms are indeed powerful, as they can even control the energy in my body. However, it's not enough. Lin Fei let the system absorb all the energy in his body. The explosions immediately stopped. Lin Fei wanted to suppress it at first, but found out that the other party was very good at controlling energy. He could only let the system absorb it, as there was not a bit of energy left in his body. Your body is quite strong to be able to seal the energy. You do have some tricks up your sleeve. The purple-clothed woman was not surprised at all. No wonder there's such a senfu. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Rays of cold light instantly flew out from around Lin Fei. Each ray of cold light was composed of energy and was aimed at his body. I'll break your body. I'll see what other trump cards you have. The energy formed blades, densely packed, covering the sky and earth. The high-level ultimate gods who slumped to the ground struggled and ran to the side one by one. The special life form was too terrifying, as it could manipulate energy all the time. They who had swaggered around in the divine beast continent had completely lost their temper. The 7th level of the tomb of the god of sin was simply a place to die. They finally understood why someone who had entered the 7th level disappeared in the end. With the existence of such a special life form, no matter how many of them entered, they would never be able to leave. By draining their energy, they would completely lose their combat strength. Now that the purple-robed woman had taken control of the battlefield, no matter who fought this special life form, they would fight immediately. It can even increase the power of energy. My perfect physical body is at its peak, yet it can leave white marks on my body. This is much more powerful than those high-level ultimate gods. Lin Fei wasn't in a hurry to make a move. It wasn't easy for him to encounter a powerful special life form. It would be a pity if he didn't witness its abilities. This special life form can easily kill a high-level ultimate god. I'm guessing only a top-level ultimate god or a pure physique cultivator can fight him. The purple-robed woman was an invincible existence ever since she was born. No matter who it was, as long as they lost their powers, they would be like fish on the chopping board. She could kill them as she pleased. Such an invincible life was really boring for the purple-robed woman. She had finally found an interesting toy. No matter how strong your physique is, you can't withstand my energy attack. Let's see how long you can last. 30 minutes or half an hour. The purple-robed woman had seen many strong physiques, but none of them could withstand such an attack. It's quite powerful, but it's just like tickling me. Lin Fei smiled at the purple-robed woman while being shrouded by the blades. This is just the beginning. The energy turned into blades and shrouded the area around Senfu. Lin Fei, who could still be seen, was nowhere to be seen at that moment. All that was left were the blades that converged into a huge storm. Quick! Control the Senfu and kill that special life form. It was not easy for Huifeng to gain some prestige after following her new master. In the blink of an eye, she encountered a terrifying special life form. Huifeng was terrified, but still knew to use Senfu to attack that special life form. The Fire Phoenix had always looked down on Lin Fei of the barbarian tribe. She thought that he only relied on his immortal mansion to show off his strength. He didn't have much strength himself, but now she knew that she had underestimated him. Lin Fei from the barbarian tribe was far more terrifying than she had imagined. As the human clan saintess, she more or less knew about the situation, especially about special life forms. Those special life forms were born from heaven and earth and were extremely powerful. They were born as peak ultimate god experts, and that was only the starting line. The dozen or so high-level ultimate gods were defeated in a single move. Although Lin Fei had been under attack, he did not seem to be in a difficult situation. Wait, he hasn't said anything yet. If we make a move, won't we ruin Master's interest? Panjian said without much resistance when she mentioned the word Master. At the very least, Lin Fei had allowed her to control the Senfu and kill many meta-beast experts. But what if? Huifeng seemed to have thought of something halfway through her sentence. Let's just wait a little longer. The time it took to burn a stick of incense quickly passed. Can you use more strength? It's so comfortable to scratch. In the invisible storm, Lin Fei's voice was very calm without a trace of panic. He's not dead yet. The purple-clothed woman came into the storm, and the energy seemed to have become one with her. She clearly saw the current situation in the storm. That barbarian actually revealed a comfortable expression. Under such an attack, apart from leaving a mark, there was no other change. This is just level 1 energy control. It's not surprising that you can withstand it. Although the purple-clothed woman was a little surprised, she did not show much of an expression. As a special life form, she had mastered more than 1 or 2 killer moves. As soon as she finished speaking, the power of the storm suddenly increased. I let you experience a level 2 energy attack. The color of the storm did not change, but the power inside it soared. Originally, it could only leave a mark on Lin Fei's skin, but now it cut open a line of blood. Yes, it was a line of blood. Ever since he reached the peak of the perfect body, Lin Fei's body had become unbelievably strong. However, at this time, the opponent's energy attack had cut open a line of blood. However, the level 2 energy attack stopped there. Other than a line of blood, it could not go any further. There's always someone better out there. A special life form is so strong. What the hell? If I didn't have a perfect body, wouldn't I have been killed? At this moment, Lin Fei felt a chill run down his spine. Level 2 energy is already like this. I wonder if this chick has mastered level 3 energy. If she does, will my perfect body be able to withstand it? The opponent had already said that there was a level 2 energy attack. What about a level 3 energy attack? Lin Fei had to think about it. Although he believed that his body could withstand the opponent's level 3 energy attack, it was better not to come into contact with it unless it was a special situation. While Lin Fei was shocked by the power of the level 2 energy attack, the lady in purple's calm face could not hide the shock in her heart. My level 2 energy attack can only leave a line of blood. This is completely impossible. No one has ever been able to withstand it so easily. A level 2 energy attack was a superposition of energy to produce a stronger power. It sounded easy, but only special life forms could do it. Usually, ordinary energy attacks could make a level 1 ultimate god unable to withstand it. Even a peak level 9 ultimate god would not be able to withstand a level 2 energy attack unless it was a level 10 ultimate god, which was also a peak ultimate god. However, was this guy a peak ultimate god? The lady in purple knew that she had underestimated the barbarian's power. He was indeed extremely strong. Such a strong body was indeed very terrifying. Is there anyone more powerful? If there's no me, I'm going to fight. Lin Fei chuckled. In the past, everyone didn't recognize the barbarians. However, I've finally seen a powerful barbarian expert today. It's fate that we met, so I'll show you what I've got. Whoosh! The lady in purple blended into the storm. Her previous aura also disappeared without a trace. Whoosh! A purple shadow flashed by. A wound was left on Lin Fei's back with blood flowing out. He was finally injured at that moment. This must be a level 3 energy attack. Another purple attack came. Lin Fei slapped his palm and left a wound on his arm with blood flowing out again. I missed. Lin Fei looked at the wound on his arm and could not help but be shocked. Whoosh! 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 The purple attacks came one after another. Lin Fei kept punching to destroy the energy attacks. However, he was a step too late each time and the purple attacks landed on his body. Arrogant and ignorant barbarian brat, in front of a special life form. Your body refinement cannot block my attack. Barbarian brat, just accept your fate. The lady in purple was in a good mood. You can be proud that you can make me use a level 3 energy attack. It's been a long time since I used it. The purple attacks kept landing on his body. Lin Fei was unable to land any of his attacks on his opponent. Every punch he threw missed. This was unprecedented. There are so many heroes in the world. I'm still too arrogant. A special life form is enough to make me flustered. Lin Fei decided to increase his strength. A special life form was already like this. If 2 or 3 special life forms came, wouldn't he be finished? Lin Fei gave up on attacking. He could not hit his opponent anyway. As for the wounds on his body, they could not heal under the energy attacks. Blood flowed like a fountain, and he looked pathetic. I'm going to buy a skill. Lin Fei knew very well that his physical strength was great. However, he could not catch his opponent. No matter what he did, it was all for naught. Barbarian brat, do you want to surrender? Chapter 3249. The purple-clad woman looked as if she had her opponent in her grasp. A level 3 energy attack was actually her limit. Fortunately, she was able to successfully tear open his body and cause damage to him. Coupled with the energy seal, it was only a matter of time before she could defeat or even kill him. It was indeed something to be proud of for a lowly barbarian boy to force her to use a level 3 energy attack. The purple-clad woman was even more curious about what kind of physical cultivation technique her opponent had cultivated to have such a strong physical body. She would have been helpless against her opponent if she had not mastered a level 3 energy attack. Moreover, her opponent's physical strength was so great that he could easily destroy energy with a punch. She really wanted to find out the barbarian boy's background. A senfu that ignored the ultimate God Yuan, Jews' divine tomb's rules. A barbarian expert with a lowly bloodline, but a strong physical body. He was very interested in either one. Surrender? No, no, no. You should be the one to surrender, not me. Lin Fei suddenly became serious. Open. Lin Fei redeemed a skill. Pay 3 billion energy points. Redeem damage, transfer. That was the skill Lin Fei asked the little devil to choose. It was specially designed to deal with special life forms. You're really good at joking. The purple-clad woman continued to attack, and dozens of shadows fell on Lin Fei. Under normal circumstances, the opponent's damage would increase a little, but in the next second, dozens of attacks were all transferred to him. Bang, bang, bang. The purple-clad woman's figure was also forced out. Her clothes were a little messy. Ha ha ha, not bad, right? Lin Fei laughed and threw a punch with the full power of his perfect physical body. The punch set off a storm. The surrounding energy was instantly annihilated and the storm around them disappeared without a trace. After the first punch came the second punch with monstrous and endless fist momentum. The space in the senfu completely collapsed. The dozen or so high-level ultimate gods hiding at the side had their mouths wide open with beads of cold sweat dripping from their foreheads. Their faces had also turned pale. He has the combat power of a peak ultimate god. They could not imagine how the lowly barbarian bloodline could have such an expert. It should not have been possible. He should at least be a royal family. No one knew better than them the impact of a barbarian expert who could withstand a special life form's attack in the beast divine continent. The barbarians were rising. Even if there was only one barbarian expert, his combat power was real. Master is fighting back. He's so strong and domineering. Hufeng took a deep breath and became excited. Even from a certain distance away, the fire phoenix could feel the aura of death from the attack. For example, if he was hit by it, he would definitely die. There was no way he could survive. Saintess Feng Yan's expression was also constantly changing. All kinds of thoughts kept popping up in her mind. That Lin Fei from the barbarian race was actually this powerful. What do you think? Master is powerful, isn't he? You're lucky to have such a master. Fire Phoenix said, if you serve Master well, you can have whatever you want. Pan Jian's gaze fell on Lin Fei. A thought that had been suppressed suddenly popped up, and he could no longer suppress it. The purple-clothed woman was also shocked. He was hit by his own attack, and that kind of pain was not easy to bear. It must be a coincidence. The purple-clothed woman changed her position and attacked again. With the lesson from last time, she did not dare to attack so quickly again. She split her attacks into multiple attacks, but the result was the same. The attacks had clearly landed on Zhao Fu's body, but in the end, they were all transferred to her. How is it? Does it feel good to hit yourself? Lin Fei smiled smugly. It was good to be able to make a special life form suffer. With 3 billion reputation, he could at least be happy for a while and not be in such a sorry state. I still underestimated him. He actually has such a treasure on him. The purple-robed woman did not attack again. Every time she was injured, it was not a good feeling. However, I don't know how long a treasure like yours can last. The purple-robed woman wasn't stupid. She had been in such a sorry state earlier, and now that she had used this treasure, she no longer had the upper hand. She was smart enough to not believe that this was a treasure that could last for a long time. This barbarian fellow must have used a one-time use treasure. The fact that he had such a treasure made the purple-robed woman even more curious. Even she was wary of the effects of such a treasure. It was not a good feeling to hit oneself. Before Lin Fei could have his fill, the purple-robed woman had already guessed it. Damage transfer was indeed a one-time use treasure. Pay 1 billion reputation. Exchange God's lock. A single damage transfer wasn't enough at all. It could only force the other party to retreat. Only by truly defeating the other party would it be a true victory. You are very smart. However, it's a pity that even if you know, so what? It's still a piece of cake for me to deal with a woman like you. Lin Fei randomly punched out, causing a stretch of the void to collapse. The energy was also destroyed. This did not affect the purple-robed woman much. After all, she was a special life form and could move around constantly. As for being discovered by the barbarian, that was impossible. She was the energy, and the energy was her. Unless all the energy was destroyed in an instant, she would have to seal it. It would be very difficult. I've found your position. Lin Fei destroyed the void and stretched out a hand, punching toward the position. A large amount of energy was destroyed, and the purple-robed woman was caught off guard. She changed directions, but before she could reach the purple-robed woman, another attack came, instantly destroying all the energy. Does this feel good? Lin Fei chased after her and punched left and right, each time landing on the purple-robed woman's position. I found it again. Eat my punch. Special life forms are really powerful. I'm impressed. Every time she spoke, Lin Fei would attack. Inside the immortal abode, the left side collapsed, the right side collapsed, and there were holes everywhere. The purple-robed woman was even more battered and exhausted, hiding here and there. In this immortal abode, where could she hide? Pooh! The purple-robed woman was forced out. Her exquisite face was filled with unwillingness and shock. Blood flowed from the corner of her mouth, and her aura was completely different from before. How about it? Do you still want to try? Lin Fei stood there and did not make a move. He just smiled and looked at his opponent. Barbarian brat, you won this time, but who knows who will win next time? The purple-robed woman also knew that she could forget about defeating her opponent today. I'm leaving now. The purple-robed woman's figure faded. Lin Fei had a smile on his face. You think you can leave? He had spent billions of prestige points on her. So how could Lin Fei let her leave so easily? That would be a huge loss. How is this possible? I can't get out. The purple-robed woman's figure appeared again, but her face was filled with shock. Just now, she tried 20 times, but she couldn't leave the Senfu. The energy inside and outside was cut off. This was completely inconceivable, but it just had to happen in the Immortal Mansion. Yes, you can't get out, Lin Fei said with a smile. Do you want to come down and stay here obediently, or do you want me to tie you up? I can restrict you from leaving, so naturally I can tie you up too. What do you think? The purple-robed woman knew that she had suffered a great loss. This barbarian brat had silently cut off her path. You really can't judge a book by its cover. The most terrifying thing was that she could not see how the other party had arranged it. Barbarian brat, you win. Since you want me to stay so badly, then I'll reluctantly stay, the purple-robed woman said with a faint smile. She did not change her expression at all because she couldn't get out. She still had a calm look on her face. However, you have to be prepared. My father has a very bad temper. If he knows that you've imprisoned me, his anger is not something that anyone can bear, Lin Fei said indifferently. Actually, even if you don't say it, I'm prepared to go to your castle as a guest. The purple-robed woman revealed a look of shock. You're really brave. I've always been brave. The purple-robed woman behaved very obediently after she couldn't leave Senfu. However, to the dozen or so high-level ultimate gods, they could not afford to offend the special life form or the barbarian Lin Fei. Fortunately, they were secretly glad that they did not offend Lin Fei. The Bimeng royal clan and the Lion Men clan would probably be in big trouble. Master, I admire you so much. You've even subdued the special life form, Huofeng said flatteringly as soon as she came out. After all, it was a special life form. Lin Fei felt quite honored. No wonder everyone liked having a lackey around them. He could make them feel more satisfied. However, Lin Fei knew very well that he would not be able to do anything to that special life form if it was not for the skill in the support shop. It could really come and go as it pleased. Even though it was subduing the special life form, it still cost him billions of prestige points. It was not easy to earn prestige points these days. Who knew when he would get his money back? Master, you've really decided to be a guest? Isn't it too dangerous? Panjian also came over. Lin Fei said, You finally know how to call me master. Panjian did not say anything too provocative this time. Actually, I feel quite good to have a powerful master. At least you fulfilled some of my wishes. Lin Fei snorted in his heart. At least you know something good. I didn't let you master Senfu's attacks in vain. That's right. Your master is the best. He served me well. Maybe I can fulfill some of your wishes. Lin Fei winked at Panjian. Senfu was still under attack. Those battleships were constantly attacking. Stop! Don't attack! A purple-robed woman appeared in the sky above Senfu. Her voice spread across the sky. As expected, the battleships stopped attacking. That's more like it, Lin Fei said with a smile. Lead the way. The purple-robed woman glanced at the barbarian lad. I hope you won't tremble when you see my father later. The battleships in front, move aside. The densely packed battleships moved aside and a path appeared. Chapter 3250. The battleship stopped and made way for them. The scene was witnessed by the people in the huge fortress on the mountain. Miss Z has successfully taken down the people in Senfu. Miss Z is still the best. No one can withstand Miss Z's attacks. I wonder who owns this Senfu. It's best not to be killed, or we'll really miss an opportunity. Everyone's eyes were filled with anticipation. Since they were born and grew up, they had been thinking about leaving this place day and night. Unfortunately, they had given up on that thought after being hit by so many setbacks. However, they saw hope this time. Who was the ultimate god? He was a veteran among the peak ultimate gods. The godly tomb was equipped with a large number of spell formations, and there were even some rules in it, all to restrict them, as well as to restrict outsiders. Day after day, year after year. This time, a Senfu ignored all the rules and came in a mighty manner. If that was not hope, then what was it? They were even closer to that step now. The people on the fortress were beaming with joy. The person sitting on the throne had a faint smile on his face. He was extremely satisfied with this little daughter of his. She was an invincible existence on the 7th level. A mere immortal abode couldn't be solved without a little daughter. He might not be his youngest daughter's opponent after tens of thousands of years. The Senfu flew toward the huge fortress. The attacks also stopped. In everyone's opinion, the person controlling the Senfu must be Miss Z. No one was Miss Z's opponent, and everyone was full of admiration for her. In the past, all the foreign experts had died in the hands of Miss Z. Unsurprisingly, it was the same this time. Everything was a piece of cake for Miss Z. Look, that's Miss Z. Miss Z is still the best. We can't break through from the outside. So Miss Z directly solved everything from the inside. The people on the castle all burst into laughter. No matter how powerful the Senfu was and how good its defense was, the result was still the same. Just as they were about to approach the fortress, the Senfu suddenly stopped and no longer moved forward. Boom! Without any warning, the Senfu fired a terrifying cannon. A huge ball of light whizzed over and enveloped the castle. The force was so powerful that even high-level ultimate gods had to step aside because Lin Fei had used up 30% of his energy to test the opponent. The people on the castle were startled. In front of this ball of light, they all felt threatened. Interesting. The man sitting on the throne laughed. That huge power was easily disintegrated by these few words. It was like ice meeting the blazing sun, instantly melting away, and everything returned to its original state. What do you think? There's no hope, right? Zilong chuckled. Your attack is really not worth mentioning. Lin Fei used 30% of his Senfu's strength to probe. The result wasn't too good. This person seemed to be ridiculously strong. He didn't even have to do anything to block the attack. Your Miss Z is in my hands. You'd better not mess around. I don't know when I'll kill her with one slap. Lin Fei said loudly. Zilong was the name of the purple-clothed woman. It was very domineering. Zilong really wanted to slap that guy to death after listening to his words. He really dared to say anything. As soon as Lin Fei said that, the people on the fortress all changed their expressions as if they had heard it wrong. Their Miss Z was captured. How could that be possible? Miss Z was a special life form and an invincible existence. However, the current situation didn't seem right. Kid, let go of our miss, or you'll die a horrible death. Let her go. If you don't let her go, I'll break your Senfu immediately and you'll have nowhere to hide. The eyes of the people on the fortress became sharp. The cannons were all aimed at the Senfu and would immediately attack as soon as the order was given. Young man, you've got guts. The person on the throne suddenly stood up and came to the sky above the Senfu. His determined face carried a terrifying pressure as heavy as a mountain. Everyone felt a terrible, suffocating feeling, even though they were separated by the Senfu and desperately resisted. Lin Fei did not move an inch. Your daughter is in my hands. Please don't use your pressure to scare people. Believe it, or I won't be happy and strip your daughter naked for everyone to admire," Lin Fei said unhurriedly. The originally mighty pressure suddenly disappeared without a trace. More than a dozen high-level ultimate gods slumped to the ground again. They had experienced it twice in a row. What was going on? They were originally arrogant, but now all lost their temper. They really didn't want to experience it again if they could. Die! The determined man shot out a jingguang from between his eyebrows. Lin Fei could not move as soon as the jingguang appeared. A breath of death shrouded his body. At that moment, he felt like he was really going to die. A jingguang appeared in front of him. It grew bigger and brighter until everything was golden. I've already said that my father has a very bad temper and is also very violent. Even if you have an immortal mansion, you won't be able to withstand a single blow from my father. Zilong's leisurely voice sounded in Yang Kai's ears. Pay 5 billion prestige points. Exchange for damage transfer. Little Devil helped Lin Fei exchange for a skill at the critical moment. The jingguang passed through Lin Fei's body. The aura that erupted from the jingguang made Lin Fei feel suffocated. The feeling quickly disappeared. The determined man's expression suddenly changed. His burly body slightly trembled as a trace of blood flowed down from the corner of his mouth. Damage transfer, 100% transfer. Zilong rejoiced in his misfortune, but she quickly shut her mouth. She saw her father bleeding. Although she knew that this guy had some special technique or treasure, she didn't believe that he could withstand her father's attack. However, the current scene told her that this barbarian kid was more terrifying than she had imagined. Because of your attack this time, I've decided to give your daughter a punishment. Lin Fei wanted to curse. First, a special life form came in. Then, the other party's attack passed through the Senfu. He was filled with anger. Without saying anything, he pulled Zilong over and kissed her on the lips. As an almost invincible existence on this level, Zilong's mind went blank the moment he was kissed. He lost the ability to resist. I've been kissed by this kid. This was the only thought left in Zilong's mind. The determined man outside the Senfu didn't continue to attack when he saw this scene. Not bad. You're really brave. Lin Fei wasn't indifferent either. The guy outside was very dangerous, but he didn't want to appear weak. I've always been brave. Otherwise, I wouldn't have captured your daughter. Your killing move won't be able to kill me. If you want to kill me, you can continue. Just use all your killing moves on me. I won't even bat an eyelid. Lin Fei patted his chest. You're really shameless. With the damage transfer, Lin Fei was really confident. This was exchanged with 5 billion reputation points. Really? I don't think so. Lin Fei laughed. Zilong stood at the side and rolled her eyes. Daughter, what do you think of him? The man suddenly asked Zilong. He's barely okay, but he's too shameless. Zilong said, Then bring him to the next level. The man disappeared. He disappeared right in front of Lin Fei. Lin Fei looked at this scene and felt that it was inexplicable, especially the look in that guy's eyes when he left. No matter how he looked at it, it felt strange. He had a vague feeling that he had gotten into big trouble. Why did your father run away? I haven't had a good talk with him. Lin Fei was unhappy. Zilong glanced at the other party. You're really in big trouble. You can do anything you want. But why did you kiss this young lady just now? Lin Fei knew that things were going to go south. Don't scare me. I'm a very brave person. What trouble can there be if you kiss me? Even your father can't kill me. Lin Fei braced herself and said. Lin Fei didn't think that a special life form was a small matter. A special life form appeared on this level. Who knew if there would be one on the 8th level, 9th level, or even the final level? Zilong suddenly chuckled and said, Let me tell you, as a special life form, I only look for special life forms as a partner. My partner is a special life form on the 8th level. Since you kissed me, I've formed a connection with you. Unless you kill that special life form, you'll be in endless danger." Before Lin Fei could say anything, Zilong's back faced Lin Fei. She revealed her shoulder slightly. An illusory figure appeared on her shoulder. This figure was none other than Lin Fei. "Did you see that? This is the change brought about by your kiss." Zilong turned around again. Lin Fei vomited blood. "It's your father's fault for wanting to kill me. If I had known, I wouldn't have kissed you." Lin Fei really wished that he could turn back time. Although Zilong was convinced now, he knew in his heart that this girl still looked down on him. In fact, if they were to fight head-on, Lin Fei really wasn't a match for Zilong. "Anyway, since you kissed me, the special life form on the 8th level will probably find out soon." Zilong laughed and said, "It won't be that easy to become my man." Lin Fei really didn't want to become Zilong's man. This guy's temper was a bit bad. With such powerful strength, whoever encountered him would be unlucky. In that case, there are also special life forms on the 8th level. That person was originally your partner. Now that I've destroyed it, he's coming to kill me. I'm not interested in that special life form. With your shameless methods, you might be able to kill him." Zilong laughed and said, "Oh right, there's something good on the 8th level. As long as you kill the special life form, you might have a chance to get it." Right now, Lin Fei wasn't interested in anything. One special life form was already so difficult to deal with. Now that there was another, wouldn't it be equivalent to wasting his prestige? "Little devil, how much prestige do I have to pay to kill a special life form?" Lin Fei asked. Soon, the little devil had an answer. "At least 200 billion prestige. 200 billion prestige." Chapter 3251. The 7th floor of the divine tomb of Yuangu had brought Lin Fei a big surprise. Unfortunately, that surprise was not a good thing. First, it was a special life form. Then, it was an existence more powerful than a special life form. The total number of reputation points he gained was about 10 billion. That was not the end, but just the beginning. Lin Fei kept vomiting blood. Sometimes he really wanted to slap himself in the face. Of all the things he could have done, he had to kiss the other party. Now, there was another big problem before the matter here was over. Although he knew special life forms were not easy to kill and required a huge price, the price of 200 billion reputation points was no less than cutting a piece of flesh off Lin Fei's body. Lin Fei was not in a hurry to go to the 8th floor. He had to take a breather in Senfu for the time being. He had to make some preparations. Zilong, the special life form, left first. Lin Fei did not stop him, since it would not attack him again. "You can go now." Zilong could travel in to deal with special life forms again. But what about the other special life forms? The dozen or so high-level ultimate gods from the 5 royal clans shook their heads. Who would dare to look down on Lin Fei now? He was clearly a peak 9th class ultimate god. Even the special life form was suppressed. Those high-level ultimate gods panicked after witnessing the danger outside. That floor was too scary. They would definitely die if they went out like that. "We're willing to work for Senior Lin. Please don't let us go out." "Senior Lin, just tell us if you need us to do anything. We'll be fine as long as you don't let us leave." The high-level ultimate gods were thick-skinned. In Senfu, there was Senfu and Lin Fei. They felt confident. Once they left, they could not guarantee that the special life form would not attack them. They might die if they went out. However, in Senfu, they could at least survive. As long as they were not fools, they would know how to choose. Moreover, if he fawned on Lin Fei now, the barbarians would rise after he left. If he didn't fawn on Lin Fei now, when would he? Soon, one of the top 10 royal families would be eliminated. The barbarian tribe was bound to become a part of the royal family. Only a fool would leave the Senfa now. Lin Fei was going to let the 5 royal high-level ultimate gods leave, as he had no obligation to protect them. However, after some thought, it did not seem to be beneficial. With the appearance of a special life form, Lin Fei's original plan to slowly accumulate prestige changed. If his prestige did not keep up, he would be beaten up. Lin Fei now deeply understood the power of prestige. Those high-level ultimate gods were very useful, as Lin Fei still needed them to contribute to his prestige. You guys can stay in Senfu for the time being. Once we leave, I do have something to trouble you guys with. Lin Fei informed them in advance. No problem. Senior Lin, feel free to let me know if there's anything you need. We agree to everything. No one dared to say anything since he was going to become a peak ultimate god in the future. They also understood that the Beeman royal family, the Lionmen tribe, and the Tigermen tribe would soon be out of luck. If the barbarians got the meat, they might get the soup. For that reason, they were 100% willing to listen to Lin Fei. In the huge castle, Little Z, what do you think of that barbarian kid? The determined man was called Z Tianjun. It was a very domineering name with unfathomable strength. He was sitting on the throne and smiling at his daughter Zilong. He's very mysterious. Zilong said, no one has ever been able to stop my attack, but he did it. He even mastered a special technique that even father can't kill. I'm quite satisfied with such a person. It's good that you've decided. Z Tianjuan's eyes became deep. He can ignore that bastard ultimate god's rules. Maybe he can really turn the 8th and 9th floor upside down. Father, aren't you going to the 8th floor? No, once I go to the 8th floor, it'll be a different story. Z Tianjun shook his head. It won't be a problem if you go with that barbarian kid. Those old guys won't do anything, so you don't have to worry. Zilong also knew how powerful those old guys on the 8th and 9th floor were. Even she was extremely fearful of those fellows. Lin Fei did not know the changes that his appearance had brought to the divine tomb. Little devil, help me find a technique to strengthen my physical body. Before going to the 8th floor, Lin Fei really needed to make some preparations, such as improving his strength. If he went to the 8th floor blindly, he might suffer a big loss. Zilong did not say anything, and was obviously waiting to see him make a fool of himself. I think Master shouldn't practice physical body techniques for the time being, Little Devil suggested. The 8th and 9th floor should be very dangerous. If you use it to practice a powerful physical body technique, you will temporarily improve your strength. However, for Master, your prestige will become insufficient and you won't be able to face all kinds of dangers. I think Master should keep his prestige for the time being. Lin Fei frowned slightly. Looking at his remaining prestige, it was indeed a headache. Take one step at a time. Lin Fei did not want to experience the helplessness of facing special life forms again. Actually, Master, you can think about it in another way. Little Devil said, for example, if you encounter an expert or a special life form, you can directly kill them. Regardless of whether they are old or young, you can suppress them. Lin Fei had always wanted to improve his strength. Suddenly hearing Little Devil's words, his expression changed slightly, and he slapped his forehead. Why did I walk into a dead end? Give them a head-on blow, and they will dare to mess around. Just as Little Devil said, using a portion of his prestige now would reduce it. If he encountered danger, his prestige would become very precious. Let's do it this way. Lin Fei thought it through. Before going to the 8th floor, I have to get some benefits from Zilong. You want me to kill special life forms and I will kill them? Aren't you giving me too much face? With this thought, Lin Fei was no longer in a hurry to go to the 8th floor. As for whether the special life forms on the 8th floor would come down, he did not care. It was better if they came, saving him a wasted trip. Lin Fei was not in a hurry to go to the 8th floor. He let Huofeng control the Senfu and toured the 7th floor. Since he was here, he had to properly understand what was different about the 7th floor. It was very different from the 6th floor. There were mountains everywhere as far as the eye could see. It looked very calm. However, Lin Fei knew that the 7th floor was more dangerous than the 6th floor. there were flying warships everywhere, and every time they appeared, there would be tens of thousands of them, and they were very powerful. Other than mountains, is there nothing good here? After touring the 7th floor, Lin Fei really did not find anything good. He suspected that Zilong's father had taken away the treasures here. Master, it is not that there are no treasures on this floor, but you just did not notice them, Little Devil said. Did not notice? Lin Fei frowned. What could there be that he did not notice? Master, did you forget about the ores under the mountains? Ores. Lin Fei's eyes lit up, and he immediately came to a realization. With a regretful expression, he said, How could I forget about this? Ever since he came to the divine beast continent, he put aside the matter of the sacred body mountain, and temporarily put aside the matter of or extraction and composition. After entering the original divine tomb, he really did not think about it. Lin Fei laughed dryly. Oh, right, are the quality of the ores here good? Although there was nothing on the 7th floor, the ores under the mountains were good stuff for Lin Fei. They were not inferior to any treasures. Although he did not stay in the divine beast continent for long, Lin Fei already had a way to deal with the essence beasts of the divine beast continent. The human race was inferior to the essence beasts because they could not break through their defenses. If they had a set of powerful enchanted equipment, they could definitely reverse the gap between the human race and the essence beasts. As a member of the human race, Lin Fei more or less had some ideas. The quality of the ores here is very good. For example, Master has always wanted to expand the damage immunity material. There's a large piece of it here. In addition to this, there are also several types of ores that Master needs. Lin Fei smiled. That's great. Enchanted equipment was also a way to gain a lot of prestige. Since he found a large number of ores here, he could combine them into the required enchanted materials. Lin Fei was overjoyed and immediately started working. Mining ores. Lin Fei did not bring anyone with him on this trip. A dozen high-level ultimate gods immediately became miners. The dozen high-level ultimate gods did not have any objection to helping Lin Fei dig ores. Each of them worked hard to dig ores. With their strength, they could destroy and mine with brute force. Thus, under the loud rumbling of the 7th layer, the mining work began. The mountains were flattened one by one, as sinkholes appeared one after another. The originally endless mountains were quickly replaced by sinkholes. One here, one there, and one there quickly connected into a piece. 1 day, 2 days, 3 months passed in the blink of an eye. More than a dozen high-level ultimate gods worked day and night. Lin Fei did not stay idle either, as he kept collecting ores. If he knew there were so many good ores on the 7th floor, he would have brought people with him. Now he could only be a miner. Who could he complain to? 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years. 3 years had passed. Lin Fei and a dozen high-level ultimate gods were still immersed in mining. Lin Fei, who mined every day, had a smile on his face as if he had picked up a treasure. Zilong, who had been keeping an eye on Lin Fei, could not help but show up. What are you trying to do? Zilong had been studying Lin Fei since the first day. No matter how hard he studied, he could not find anything, especially after mining. God knew how much Zilong's brain cells had been drained from his completely unfathomable behavior. The quality of the ores there was average. Why did that guy keep digging and smiling every day? Zilong did not think there were any treasures in there. Of course, I'm digging for treasures. Lin Fei smiled. If you're willing to help, I can give you a gift. I believe you'll like it. Just these ores. Chapter 3252. Zilong was there to understand the situation. After listening to Lin Fei's words, he could not help but become curious. What good things could be produced from those ores that were considered to be of poor quality? It would be better to use the time to study how to improve one's strength. Since you've put it so nicely, I'll reluctantly help you. Zilong left after saying that. Soon, a large number of battleships arrived. As soon as those battleships arrived, they received orders to attack the ground. Those mountains were flattened one after another. After the ground was blasted open, mineral veins were also revealed. Large amounts of ores were blasted out. With the help of the battleships, Lin Fei's efficiency in harvesting ores increased tremendously. Every day, there would be mountains of ores being taken away. Those high-level ultimate gods from the royal clan who had previously escaped from the attacks. The past 3 years had not been a good time. There were battleships constantly targeting them and attacking them. Although the number was not as high as before, they could not take it anymore after a long time. Originally, they had been hiding everywhere. In the end, they had hidden underground. Unfortunately, after Lin Fei went crazy mining, their good days came to an end, and they were forced to come out. What is that barbarian kid trying to do? When they came out of the underground, they did not know what that kid was trying to do after seeing the sinkholes everywhere. Only he could think of mining on the 7th level. Those ores were worthless, but they seemed to have become 100 times more valuable. Should we go find that barbarian kid? We'll have to leave if this continues. The one who spoke was a high-level ultimate god from the Tigermen clan. Recently, they all knew that the barbarian kid had discussed something with the natives on that level. They seemed to be in harmony. That made them very envious. After all, they had suffered every day for the past 3 years and had yet to get any treasures. Previously, they were gloating over the fact that the other party's immortal abode had been blocked. But now they really couldn't laugh anymore. I don't want to go. The high-level ultimate god from the giant clan shook his head. We have to go. Those damn battleships are here again. The high-level ultimate god from the Golden War God clan said. Tens of thousands of battleships arrived not far away and attacked. The 3 royal clans' high-level ultimate gods immediately fled. They did not have any confidence in fighting with those battleships. They had tried many times before, and the strength that they could show off in the divine beast continent was not enough here. Lin Fei was very relaxed now. In another half a year at most, we should be able to dig it out. Ever since he had Zilong's help, his efficiency had skyrocketed. Lin Fei didn't have to be so busy anymore. All he had to do was collect them. The 7th layer's ores were almost completely dug out. Master, someone is coming this way. It seems to be a royal clan ultimate god expert. Hufeng reported. It should be the Giant Clan, Golden Battle God Clan, and Tigermen Clan. Ever since the 3 royal families ran away, Lin Fei didn't pay attention to them anymore. They are really tenacious to be able to persist until now. Lin Fei said with a smile, Master, that's because you drove them out from the underground, and now they have nowhere to hide. Hufeng laughed. Lin Fei was not interested in the 3 royal families. However, he needed prestige now. He still had to count on them when the time came. Lin Fei pondered. Xiaofeng, come here. Lin Fei called Panjian. Master, you're looking for me? Compared to 3 years ago, Panjian had also changed, especially when she called him master. She had become very smooth. The 3 royal clan ultimate gods are here. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll leave them to you. Lin Fei said, but don't kill them. Panjian's beautiful eyes lit up. Thank you, master. She kissed Lin Fei on the cheek. Hufeng said, Master, I'm actually the best at this kind of thing. You can leave it to me. The 3 royal families fled to the vicinity of Senfu under the pursuit of the battleships. The battleships' attacks were not easy to deal with. Barbarian boy, let us go up. Barbarian boy. They planned to go up to Senfu, but still did not take the barbarian boy seriously and called him contemptuously. You can't just call me master. Super unlimited run started. Boom, boom. 3 royal families and 8 high-level ultimate gods were immediately hit in the head. Following that, a beautiful figure appeared in the sky above Senfu. It was Panjayan. The high-level ultimate gods were about to kill under the sudden attack. They were actually attacked by the human clan's Holy Maiden. It was like a blow to the head for them who had never taken the human clan seriously. They hastily blocked the attack and suffered a small loss. "Stop now. If you don't stop, we'll kill you." The high-level ultimate gods were in a sorry state and kept threatening them. What awaited them was another attack from a mortal abode. Those high-level ultimate gods cursed for a long time, but to no avail. Coupled with the arrival of the battleships, they could only flee again. This time, Senfu also followed suit. Panjayan controlled the super unlimited cannon and attacked all the way from the east to the west, then from the west to the south. The dignified high-level ultimate gods were chased all the way. It was something they had never thought of, especially the high-level ultimate gods from the giant clan. They knew the human clan's Saintess was auctioned off by them. In the end, the Saintess appeared right above their heads, and they could not do anything to her. The chase lasted for half a month. The high-level ultimate gods from the royal families were tortured to the point of losing their temper. No one could withstand being surrounded from the front and back, especially under Senfu's precise attacks. "Stop fighting. We can talk things over." The high-level ultimate gods from the giant clan begged for mercy. They had strong defenses, but after half a month of attacks, they could not take it anymore. They did not want to run anymore when they were forced into a sinkhole. It was not a good feeling to be chased and attacked. As Senfu stopped above the sinkhole, the attacks did not stop. At the same time, the battleships had locked onto the area and began carpet bombing. The scene was a complete mess. Panjayan had really vented her anger this time. The dignified high-level ultimate gods from the royal families had become so fragile in front of Senfu. "My master has said that as long as you admit your mistakes, he'll allow you to go to Senfu and protect you." After half a month, Saintess Feng Yin could finally hold her head high. She had vented most of her anger. Although she couldn't kill them, she believed that she would have a chance to kill the experts of the royal family sooner or later. Bow their heads and admit their mistakes? The high-level ultimate gods from the royal families were very aggrieved. However, they knew very well that they would probably be chased out if they did not apologize and seek shelter from Senfu. "Barbarian kid, it's impossible for us to apologize. We'll be waiting for you outside." The high-level ultimate gods from the giant clan gritted their teeth, tore the scroll, and left the 7th floor. The Golden War God clan and Tigerman clan were the same. It was impossible for them to apologize to the lowly barbarians. The royal families still cared about their reputation, not to mention they were high-level ultimate gods. Therefore, they left en masse. It was fine if they did not get any treasures. As long as the barbarian kid left the divine tomb, he would definitely regret it. The high-level ultimate gods in Senfu shook their heads. It was such a waste of an opportunity. They had seen with their own eyes that the barbarian Lin Fei was an existence that could defeat special life forms. It would only take him a blink of an eye to kill them. He was a strong enemy that they could not afford to offend. They could not wait for the giant clan to not come up. If they knew how powerful Lin Fei was, they would definitely kneel down and worship him. They would not have a chance to perform then. "Master, I'm sorry." Panjayan bowed her head as soon as she returned. She did not do her job well. Lin Fei chuckled. "It's okay. It's fine if they don't cherish the opportunity." Half a year later, the 7th floor's ores were almost emptied. Lin Fei did not refuse anyone and dug as much as he could. He did not need to worry about refining the remaining ores. "When are you going to the 8th floor?" Zilong passed through Senfu and came in. Ever since the first time, Lin Fei did not set up a barrier to stop Zilong, as it was purely a waste of his prestige. It was not worth it, as only Zilong could enter anyway. Lin Fei simply let Zilong enter and exit Senfu, as he was not afraid that Zilong would harm him. His system was not to be trifled with, and he also believed that Zilong was a smart person. As long as he was smart, he would not mess around, especially when it came to damage transfer. Aya, you know how to get to the 8th floor. Besides, I've been looking for the passage to the 8th floor, Lin Fei said seriously. Zilong really wanted to give Lin Fei a slap. Keep pretending, keep pretending. The 3 major clans have gone up. Lin Fei was a little surprised. No way, they went up. How did they go up? I was wondering why I didn't find any traces of them. The 3 major clans still have a strong foundation. Zilong did not say much. Go to the 8th floor, I will accompany you. The 8th floor is not as simple as it is here. Can you tell me about it, so I can make some preparations? Zilong said indifferently. You only need to know that the 8th floor is a continent with a population of hundreds of billions. There's only one force there. There are special life forms and all kinds of old, undying beings. It is 100 times more dangerous than this floor. Lin Fei thought that the 8th floor was similar to the 7th floor. This unexpected sentence shook Lin Fei's heart. A population of hundreds of billions. I can farm prestige. What followed was a crazy idea. Lin Fei was worried about where to farm prestige. When he suddenly heard that the 8th floor had a population of hundreds of billions, he was completely excited. This was a good place to farm prestige. Why is the 8th floor a continent? Lin Fei was very curious and wanted to know more. I am not sure about this. I only know that the hierarch Yuanju is very powerful. The 8th floor's continent has been passed down for hundreds of billions of years. Zilong said. Are you afraid? Chapter 3253. The 8th level was a continent. This news was quite surprising to Lin Fei. A population of hundreds of billions could provide a lot of prestige. For Lin Fei, who was currently accumulating prestige, this was the best thing. As long as he could replenish his prestige, he would not have to worry about any experts coming. After agreeing to enter the 8th level a month later, Lin Fei quickly started to wrap things up. He collected all the ores that could be collected. As for the small portion that was left, he did not need to worry. Time passed quickly. A month had passed. Zilong came again. I just received a piece of bad news. You have to be mentally prepared. Zilong, who was dressed in purple, came to the senfu. To her, this place was no different from going in and out of her home. What news? Lin Fei frowned slightly. For the past month, he had been thinking about how to increase his prestige. In the end, he decided to use violent means to increase his prestige. The 8th level was a continent controlled by a force. It would be best to directly attack them. As long as he had enough prestige in the 8th level, there was nothing to be afraid of in the 9th level. Zilong glanced at Lin Fei. According to the information sent back by the spies in the 8th level, the 3 major Protoss clans have joined that force in the 8th level. They know that you have a senfu that can ignore the rules left by the divinity Yuanju. At the entrance, they have mobilized experts and laid a trap to capture you. Lin Fei touched his nose and laughed. Ha ha ha, trap. This is good. I like it. Zilong was also confused by Lin Fei's words. Why are you laughing? Aren't you afraid? Zilong was very clear about the force that was waiting for him. It was terrifying. Or do you think you can break through? Lin Fei was worried about how to increase his prestige. The 3 major Protoss clans were really good people. They actually did a good deed. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid even if your father wants to kill me, let alone those people. Lin Fei laughed. Get ready. We can go. The 8th floor. This place was completely different from the boundless mountains on the 7th floor. It was truly a world of its own. High mountains, flowing rivers, azure blue sky. Everywhere was full of exuberant vitality. At this time, at the entrance of a valley, there were countless experts. A large array formation surrounded a small array formation, sealing the valley. Within a range of hundreds of millions of miles, there were formations set up everywhere. Anyone who barged in would be killed on the spot in the blink of an eye without any chance to struggle. At this moment, there was a group of people standing on a mountain in the distance. There were a few dozen of them, and on the opposite side of the mountain was an inconspicuous valley. As long as what you say is true, and there really is a senfu that can ignore the old man's rules, then whatever you want won't be a problem. The one who spoke was a black-armored, divine, venerable. His entire body was wrapped in black armor and exuded a cold aura. Only a pair of eyes could be seen. The three god races no longer had the arrogance they had before. It was as though they had been suppressed by something. What we said is true. That senfu has a very special origin. We don't know how that barbarian kid got it. Anyway, even an ultimate god can't break it. If senfu doesn't exist, you can kill us. That boy really has an immortal's mansion. When he appears, you'll know. However, we don't know how much the immortal's mansion can bear, and we don't know what other trump cards it has. If he runs away, don't blame me. The high-level ultimate gods from the three god races could not speak fluently with a hint of uneasiness in their eyes. It had always been their world, but they had suffered setbacks after coming to the tomb of the god of Yuanju. It was all that barbarian kid's fault. If the barbarian kid had given up the senfu, then there would have been no problems. The three god races would not have been suppressed by the aborigines on the 8th floor. They also cursed the ultimate god Yuan, Ju, 10,000 times. Of all the things he could have done, why did he have to come up with a mainland? There were aborigines on the 7th floor, and they were beaten to a pulp. It was not easy for them to reach the 8th floor, but they were chased by the aborigines on that floor. Some were killed, while others were injured. In the end, they could not even leave. In order to survive, they used the senfu to attract the enemy's attention. Keep a close eye on the senfu. Attack immediately as soon as it appears. It's best to enter the senfu and capture the barbarian kid inside. Don't kill him. Keep him alive. The black-armored ultimate god ordered in an irresistible tone. They followed Zilong's directions. The group of people arrived at a valley. The valley was very inconspicuous. It was even more inconspicuous among the mountains. There were hundreds of similar places. Even if the mountains were destroyed, many small valleys could still be found. The entrance is here? Lin Fei was a little surprised that the entrance was in such a place. It would have been difficult to find it without Zilong leading the way. Surprised, aren't you? Zilong chuckled. I was also surprised at first. I had the same expression as you. The exit is surrounded by the 8th floor. Are you ready? They're just a bunch of ants. They're not worth caring about. The high-level ultimate gods in the senfu wiped their sweat. Only the barbarians dared to say that. I also want to see how you're going to deal with the experts on the 8th floor. By the way, let me remind you that the special life form is guarding over there. Lin Fei laughed. It's just a special life form. I'll show you how powerful I am today. When that time comes, you should be glad that I showed you mercy. Zilong rolled his eyes. Keep bragging. You're not the one who killed the special life form. It was hard to believe that someone could kill a special life form. At least, no one could do it there. Even those old farts could not do it. They did not have that kind of strength. Lin Fei looked at the small valley. You'll know in a while. I'm going to start a massacre. Lin Fei had automatically listed the continent as a place to build his reputation after knowing that the 8th floor was a place with hundreds of billions of people to make up for his recent losses. Who would want to miss such a good opportunity? I'll wait and see. The senfu plunged into the small valley. The small valley looked like a small valley, but when they got closer, they realized that it was an illusory small valley that could deceive everyone's eyes. However, the small valley looked too ordinary from above. At that moment, the senfu rushed into the small valley, and everything in front of them changed as a passage appeared. Xiao Feng, activate the defense. Our enemies are coming. Xiaohua, when you see the enemy later, activate the super infinite cannon and blast them all the way. Lin Fei stood straight and looked ahead through the senfu. The passage was not very long and only took a while to complete. Boom! Boom! Endless attacks poured down like a mountain torrent. The huge immortal abode began to shake violently. Do you see that? Those outside are your enemies. The moment the Senfu arrived at the 8th floor, it was immediately attacked fiercely. As soon as the Celestial Palace was attacked, the Fire Phoenix immediately retaliated. The super limitless cannon madly shot outwards, and the Celestial Palace's defenses were activated, forming a black belt around the Celestial Palace, easily blocking the attacks from the outside. The attacks on the 8th floor are really fierce. They're even stronger than the ones on the 7th floor. Lin Fei checked the situation. Fortunately, the attacks were still within acceptable range. It would be impossible for them to break through the defensive line outside for now. That's for sure. The 8th floor is a world with countless experts and a population of hundreds of billions. It's not as simple as you think. Zilong smiled. He was already used to the attacks outside. Although the attacks were fierce and domineering, they posed no threat to her, a special life form. The moment the Senfu came out, it was immediately attacked. Just like the previous layer, the sky was filled with warships. One attack after another came crashing down, only to be blocked by something that looked like a black bag. Master Black Emperor, what we said is true. This is the Senfu. It has an incredibly strong defense. We tried to take it down last time, but unfortunately we couldn't break its defense. This must be a top-notch Senfu. The high-level ultimate gods from the 3 celestial clans kept talking. If the Senfu was real, then they would have a chance to leave the 8th floor without having to be careful and be afraid of losing their lives. You're good. A strange look flashed across the black-armored ultimate god's cold eyes. In the world of the 8th level, there was a massive empire that had been established. There was nothing that they had not seen before. However, this was the first time that they had seen such an immortal residence. All right, you can go now. They felt relieved as if they had been pardoned. Just as they were about to turn around and leave, 3 crisp sounds were heard. 3 high-level ultimate gods exploded as blood mist flowed into the black-armored ultimate god's body. Why leave now that you're here? It's so refreshing, the black-armored ultimate god said. Let them enter the Senfu and catch that barbarian kid. The high-level ultimate gods from the 3 celestial clans died in a humiliating manner. They were killed in one blow. The attack continued. The Senfu's super infinity cannon was also very powerful. The warships in the sky were shot down in waves. However, there were too many warships, and they kept coming back. They're here, Zilong suddenly said. Lin Fei saw more than a dozen figures turning illusory and heading toward the Senfu. The Senfu, which could have withstood the attacks, could not stop them from sneaking in. What are they? Lin Fei was used to it and was not as helpless as he was before. If special life forms could come in, it was not surprising that others could come in as well. Scan them. How much prestige do we need to kill them? Lin Fei contacted Little Devil. They're semi-special life forms. Another name is energy elves. Such existences only exist in the 8th floor. Chapter 3254. Energy sprites. They were the special existences on the 8th floor. No one knew how they came to be there for the time being. No one dared to ignore these energy sprites. In an instant, the energy sprites rushed into the Senfu. The name might sound interesting, but one would curse when they saw them for real. They looked too ferocious and terrifying. To put it bluntly, they were ugly. F*CK, they're going to scare us to death. Lin Fei almost raised his middle finger when he saw the short, ugly, and ferocious faces. You're so ugly, and yet you come out to scare people. I have no choice but to kill you. Zilong giggled. Have you lost your appetite after seeing them? That's for sure. The energy sprites rushed in, and the high-level ultimate god experts were the first to bear the brunt. The power in their bodies was once again out of control, as if it was about to break free. They could only look at Lin Fei for help. They wanted to show off at first, but now they realized that the things on the 8th floor were not something they could fight against. It was a painful blow to them. Die. 80 billion reputation points was something Lin Fei could still afford. With Zilong as a special life form, it was not easy to kill those related to special life forms. He might as well use the system's skills. It's just reputation points, I can afford it. Lin Fei still had some confidence. Do you need my help? Zilong, who was dressed in purple, said arrogantly. No need. Zilong knew the energy sprites were not easy to deal with. She wanted to see how Lin Fei would kill them. Moreover, he said it so confidently as if the energy sprites were very fragile. The 8th floor was where Lin Fei could farm his reputation points. It was best to end the battle quickly. I'll pay 80 billion reputation points. I'll exchange for 100 kills. The name of the skill was 100 kills. As for why there was such a name, Lin Fei had no idea. He guessed that it was given by the person who set it up. It was a bit of a chinibyu. After the energy sprites entered the Senfu, even the high-level ultimate gods were affected and immediately locked onto Lin Fei. More than a dozen energy sprites swarmed toward Lin Fei. Die! Lin Fei waved his hand in a very pretentious manner, and a piece of jingguang flew out from his hand. This jingguang shrouded the energy sprite. Jingguang's color shone on the elves' bodies, and the originally ferocious elves revealed expressions of fear. They screamed, and the terrifying screams seemed to pierce through space. Only Zilong and Lin Fei were able to ignore the screams of the energy sprites. As for the others, they were suffering. Fortunately, Lin Fei had created a barrier to block the sound wave attack. The screaming energy spirit's body began to melt. It was like the melting of winter snow. Under the golden light, they were unable to escape and were quickly melted away. Even if they were turned into energy, it was still the same. They were truly wiped out completely. Not even a little bit of energy escaped. How is it? Is my technique acceptable? Lin Fei looked at the shocked Zilong. Zilong subconsciously shivered. Although she did not think that the other party was much stronger than her, the scene at that moment was no less than a big blow to her. This guy had mastered the technique to kill the energy sprites. The most terrifying thing was that she could not tell what kind of technique it was. She only knew that it could kill the energy sprites on a deeper level. Good technique. Zilong said calmly, that Black Emperor will probably hate you to death. This is an energy sprite. Let's kill him later. Let's see what else he can hate, Lin Fei said calmly. He took a step forward and arrived in the sky above Senfu. Although the Senfu was very strong, and the super infinity cannon could kill a large number of them, it could not keep up with the speed of their replenishment. I have to do it myself. Lin Fei did not have time to waste. Black Emperor, if you don't want to die, get over here immediately. If I make a move, you will definitely die. Regardless of whether you are a special life form or not, you will still end up the same. Lin Fei's voice rumbled in the sky above Senfu. When the subordinates controlling the battleships heard this, they all suspected that there was something wrong with this guy's brain. Was he threatening Lord Black Emperor? On the 8th level, everyone knew about Lord Black Emperor. He was a special life form and was extremely powerful. Even Miss Zilong from the 7th level was not a match for him. Now, there was actually someone who dared to say such words. What an ignorant fool. Black Emperor was a special life form from the 8th level. He was also the only true special life form. In this level, and even the 9th level, he had great influence. This was the first time Black Emperor had heard such impudent words. Outsider, you sure are arrogant. No one has ever dared to speak to me like this. Black Emperor came near Senfu, and all the battleships stopped attacking. If you hand over Senfu, I can spare your life. I haven't done something like this for a long time. You are the first. Seeing Senfu in front of him, Black Emperor knew that this was a chance to leave the divine tomb. If it was not for Senfu, Black Emperor would have already killed the other party. He would not have spoken to the other party. Be it on the 7th, 8th, or 9th level, there were not many people who were qualified to speak to him. This was because he was a special life form and had truly mastered special mystiques. Master! Killing this special life form requires a total of 180 billion reputation. Little Devil came to a conclusion. Then I'll pay 180 billion reputation points to kill this guy. Lin Fei did not wish to fight with a special life form. Who knew what kind of special abilities it had? He would kill it first. Pay 180 billion reputation points. Exchange for a sure kill. Lin Fei suddenly stretched out his hand. I'm sorry, but I don't like to be threatened, even if you are a special life form. He pointed with his finger. A ray of light struck Black Emperor's body. 180 billion reputation turned into a terrifying skill. One hit sure kill. There were no signs. There was no danger. Black Emperor's eyes widened, and his body began to tremble. I don't want to die. No one had expected an outsider to make a move at this moment. No one had noticed anything, and he had struck so casually. As a special life form, Black Emperor was used to being arrogant. He had never imagined that there would be a day when someone could kill him. At most, he would be severely injured. But at this moment, Black Emperor felt that everything had become illusory. Everything in front of him had disappeared. He had sunk into endless darkness. That body also disappeared without a trace, leaving nothing behind. A dignified special life form was gone, just like that. I've already said it. Why don't you believe me? Lin Fei shook his head. All of Black Emperor's subordinates were dumbfounded. Looks of disbelief could be seen on their faces. Lord Black Emperor is dead. Run. Retreat. Retreat immediately. Chapter 3255. In the sky above Senfu. In that instant, Lin Fei seemed to have transformed into a terrifying and invincible existence. The densely packed warships outside the small valley had retreated with the death of Lord Black Sovereign. They did not even have the confidence to attack again. The sky returned to normal. The area outside the small valley became quiet. Ha 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 ha. Lin Fei suddenly laughed out loud. In such a short time, a large amount of reputation had been contributed. It was more than 30 million, and the number was still increasing. Betrayal means death by talking too much. Lin Fei was elated. He had spent 180 billion reputation in one go, and it was actually very painful. Fortunately, the warships had retreated, and there was no need for him to attack again. You actually killed a special life form. Zilong's beautiful eyes blinked, and she found it hard to accept this scene. That Black Sovereign's special life form was killed just like that. If she had not seen it with her own eyes, Zilong would not have believed that Lin Fei from the barbarian race could kill a special life form just like that. Before this, Zilong did not believe it at all. Killing special life forms? It was not an easy task. Unless it was those special life forms that had just been born. There was still hope of doing it at that time. However, Black Sovereign was not an ordinary special life form. He had cultivated for a very long time, and he was not someone that could be killed just like that. Are you surprised? I've said it before, killing special life forms is actually just that. Lin Fei said casually, Are you glad that I didn't kill you back then? Zilong had never thought that Lin Fei could kill special life forms, but the scene before her had shattered her previous belief. This Lin Fei from the barbarian race had really mastered killing special life forms. Zilong quickly chuckled. Don't scare me. Although I don't know what method you used to kill special life forms. I believe that you paid a great price, and it was a very painful price. You probably won't be able to use this method many times. Am I right? Lin Fei had to admit that this Zilong was really good at talking. He actually said almost everything. A special life form had spent 180 billion prestige points. The previous 80 billion prestige points added up to a total of 260 billion prestige points. This was definitely a huge sum. Then are you willing to give it a try? Lin Fei laughed. I guarantee that you will experience despair. Zilong had been observing Lin Fei. She knew that she had guessed correctly, but she would definitely not be willing to give it a try. You only know how to bully others. Boring. Zilong rolled his eyes at Lin Fei. You killed the Black Emperor, and the Empire will soon know about it. How are you going to face it? Moreover, the Black Emperor you killed was not only a special life form, but also the future heir of the Empire. Lin Fei snapped his fingers. Isn't that simple? Just charge over and have a good talk with them. Tianyuan Empire. That was the name of the 8th mainland world empire. The imperial capital of the Tianyuan Empire was located on a large plain with cities of various sizes all along the way. It was very prosperous and built a huge empire's imperial capital. The most eye-catching thing in the imperial capital was the 4 black towers that almost pierced the sky. They occupied 4 positions and 4 directions in the imperial capital. The imperial capital palace. The current emperor was called Ultimate God Guquan. He was a peak high-level ultimate god expert. Although his cultivation level was not very high, he could transform into a peak ultimate god's combat power in the imperial capital with the help of a formation. That was not the main point. The most important thing was that the Tianyuan Empire had a special life form, the Black Emperor. He was the future heir of the empire. What was a peak ultimate god? It would not be a problem for him to become a universe expert in the future. Your Majesty, something bad has happened. Young Master Black Emperor is dead. Ultimate God Guquan was enjoying singing and dancing in the palace. Usually, Ultimate God Guquan liked to watch singing and dancing when he had nothing to do. There is no need to worry about the current Tianyuan Empire, as all opposition forces had been swept away. While everyone was talking and laughing, a figure ran in awkwardly and knelt in the palace hall as if his parents had died. Revered divinity Guquan was lying on a large antique bed. Both sides of him were beautiful women waiting on him. Who let you in? Drag him out and behead him. Ultimate God Guquan was engrossed in listening and did not listen carefully. Your Majesty, don't kill me. Something bad has happened. Young Master Black Emperor has been killed. The man shouted loudly. At that moment, everyone finally heard it clearly. Young Master Black Emperor had been killed? The experts present did not believe it. Who was it? Who was young Master Black Emperor? He was a special life form. Even if they joined forces, they would not be a match for him. Killing young Master Black Emperor must be a joke. This joke was not funny at all. Your Majesty, something bad has happened. Young Master Black Emperor's soul ball has just broken. Another person hurriedly ran in from outside, holding a crystal ball-like object that was split in half in his hand. That was the soul ball unique to the Tianyuan Empire. As long as the soul ball did not crack, it meant that the person was not dead. However, once the person was dead, the soul ball would break in half. The person who came in was the watchman who guarded the soul ball every day. Just now, when young Master Black Emperor's soul ball broke, he was so scared that his limbs went soft and immediately came to report. This time, Ultimate God Guquan could not sit still anymore. He pushed away the people around him and stood up. My son. Ultimate God Guquan grabbed the soul ball, and the soul aura belonging to Black Emperor disappeared without a trace. His face turned gloomy. Investigate immediately. Who killed young Master Black Emperor? This emperor will exterminate his 10 clans. Ultimate God Guquan was completely enraged. He was the hope of the Tianyuan Empire. Now he was gone just like that. He had hoped that Black Emperor could break through to the ultimate god level. At that time, he could break out of the encirclement and the Tianyuan Empire could usher in another round of development and expansion. However, everything had come to a premature end. Could it be those old things? Impossible, they don't have the guts. But if it wasn't them, then who could it be? Ultimate God, Gu Quan, could not think of anyone who would dare to kill him. From the 7th floor to the 8th and even the 9th floor, everyone minded their own business. No one dared to cross the line. Your Majesty, I found out. It was an outsider who controlled the Senfu. He's with Miss Zilong from the 7th floor. They're heading this way. The results were soon out. Ultimate God, Gu Quan's face turned even gloomier. How could an outsider kill young Master Black Emperor? Immediately mobilize experts for this emperor. After killing Black Emperor, a special life form, Lin Fei did not stay idle. He let Hufeng control the Senfu and charged toward the Tianyuan Empire's imperial capital. Yes, attack the landmark. At least we have to prove that we're here. Lin Fei smiled. Also, spread the word that young Master Black Emperor has been killed by me. If you don't want to die, you better stay put. Chapter 3256. Tianyuan Empire. The people on this level had been reproducing for generations and were used to living under the rule of the Tianyuan Empire. However, with the appearance of the Senfu, many people became restless. This was because the Senfu came too mysteriously. It appeared so openly like a treasure, and anyone who saw it would be tempted. Boom! Boom! At first, some people thought that it was a treasure and wanted to fish for it. As a result, he was bombarded as soon as he went up. His body was smashed to pieces, and he was killed in one shot. This did not stop those people from going crazy. Whether it was a treasure or something else, it was worth it for them to go crazy. However, they were killed every time. When the voice from the immortal abode rang out, everyone was shocked as if it was a joke. Young Master Heidi is dead? Impossible. Who can kill young Master Heidi? What a joke. Heidi killed them all. Everyone, let's attack together and take down that Senfu. We have more people and strength. There's nothing to be afraid of. There were hundreds of billions of people in the Tianyuan continent. The appearance of the Senfu naturally caused a huge commotion. Many people wanted to take down the Senfu. As the Senfu's announcement spread again and again, it was hard for people not to understand. Young Master Heidi is dead? Everyone was in disbelief. Countless people surrounded the Senfu, and all the forces came out. However, they were unable to stop the Senfu from advancing. Under the attack of the super cannon, people kept falling, and their corpses were destroyed. On the other hand, their attacks were unable to break through the black belt of the Senfu. If you don't want to die, scram. My cannon is blind. Lin Fei stood in the sky above the Senfu. As the Senfu moved, people were constantly being bombarded. Basically, no matter how many people came, they would be killed. Nothing could stop the Senfu. After a long time, everyone was afraid when they saw the Senfu. The defense of this immortal abode was too strong. Their attacks couldn't even land on the immortal abode. That fellow who looked like a human was acting all high and mighty. They wanted nothing more than to rush up and kill him. However, the Senfu was an obstacle, so they could only follow along. Humph, we don't believe that you can continue to strut around like this. This was the common thought of the people behind him. They couldn't deal with Senfu, but that didn't mean others couldn't. This was the Tianyuan Empire, a place filled with experts. The Li family is here, ha ha ha. The Wang clan is here too. I think Senfu won't be able to hold on for long. The arrival of a single Senfu drew the attention of all the major and minor powers in the Tianyuan Empire. Everyone rushed over. Everyone wanted to take down Senfu, especially when there was an outsider in Senfu. The organizations of the Tianyuan Empire brought a large number of experts to surround Senfu. They used various treasures, but in the end, none of them could stop Senfu. Senfu headed straight for the capital. They originally thought that the Senfu would not be able to withstand the attacks of so many forces. But now, everyone began to wonder where the Senfu was produced. Its quality was too high. Lin Fei, who had been attracting hatred all this while, was feeling elated. Make as much trouble as you can. The bigger the trouble, the more prestige I'll gain. Lin Fei could clearly see his prestige increasing. As the news spread, his contribution points began to increase. This was the benefit of having a large population. Prestige was constantly being contributed, and this was just the beginning. You're really bored. Zilong couldn't figure out what the barbarian Lin Fei was thinking. You killed a special life form, so you should at least have the appearance of a peerless expert. Look at you now. You're like a villain intoxicated by success. Lin Fei thought, if I don't go out and attract hatred, how will people know me? I'm not bored. I think it's quite interesting. Lin Fei smiled. There are indeed many experts in the Tianyuan Empire. Why doesn't the 7th level integrate with the 8th level? It's all empty there. Look at this place. The environment is beautiful, and the scenery is pleasant. It's much better than the 7th level. Zilong rolled his eyes. Hierarch Gu Quan is here. Lin Fei knew who Hierarch Gu Quan was. He was the emperor of the Tianyuan Empire. The royal family is finally here. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. I've been waiting for them for a long time. I thought they would stay in the capital forever. Hierarch Gu Quan was indeed here. He had brought a bunch of experts with him. Apart from that, there was also a large army behind him. It was the infamous Tianyuan army. They were all dressed in black armor. The armor was covered in patterns and emitted a cold luster. Your Majesty, that's the outsider Senfu. Hierarch Gu Quan's face was filled with killing intent. The most outstanding successor of the Tianyuan Empire was dead. Hierarch Gu Quan wanted to cut the other party into pieces and exterminate his entire clan. Destroy that immortal abode for me, Hierarch Gu Quan ordered. Those forces that had been surrounding the Senfu immediately stood aside when they saw Hierarch Gu Quan, the emperor of the Tianyuan Empire. A thought popped up in their minds. Could young Master Black Emperor really be dead? This emperor had not appeared for a long time. Ever since the unification of the Tianyuan Empire, all the forces had been well behaved. No one dared to go against them. The Tianyuan Empire's royal family's rule had been deepening. Up until now, the Tianyuan Empire had been very stable. Ever since the royal family produced the Black Emperor, Hierarch Gu Quan had relinquished his power and handed over almost all matters to the Black Emperor. It was extremely difficult for ordinary people to meet Hierarch Gu Quan. But now, Hierarch Gu Quan had appeared. The killing intent on his face was so monstrous that they could feel it even from afar. At that moment, they could no longer remain calm. The Black Emperor was a special life form who could easily break through to the ultimate god realm in the future. However, he had been killed by someone. Furthermore, His Majesty had personally brought the most powerful and ferocious Tianyuan army. The Tianyuan army was the most powerful existence in the Tianyuan Empire. It had always been an elite army controlled by the royal family. The Tianyuan army was rarely deployed unless it was to suppress a powerful enemy. However, the Tianyuan army was deployed this time. This was inconceivable. They've made their move. The Tianyuan army has been deployed. What the hell? They've deployed 100,000 Tianyuan army this time. That's terrifying. What kind of enemy is worth deploying the Tianyuan army? Oh yes, there's also the royal family's high officials. There are more than 30 grade 8 ultimate gods. Could it be a grade 9 ultimate god in that Senfu? Even if it's a grade 9 ultimate god, it's not worth deploying 100,000 Tianyuan army. Those people could no longer remain calm. Such a situation had not happened for a very long time. However, it had happened today. 100,000 Tianyuan army and more than 30 grade 8 ultimate gods. Even the top forces in the Tianyuan Empire could not withstand such a lineup. You're in trouble. Chapter 32:57. Ultimate God Gu Quan led the Tianyuan army to attack. It was unknown how many people were shocked by this scene. The news that came from the immortal mansion seemed to have come true. If the young master of the Black Emperor had really been killed, it would definitely be a major matter for the Tianyuan Empire. No matter who was involved in this matter, the outcome was predetermined. None of them would have a good ending. Even if they were outsiders, they would not be able to withstand the wrath of the Tianyuan imperial family. The Tianyuan army had sent 100,000 troops. They were the best of the best. As soon as they made their move, everyone felt a terrifying and dangerous aura. They couldn't even muster the slightest bit of resistance. Those who had witnessed the might of the Heaven's Origin army believed that Immortal Mansion could stop them. Tianyuan army? They're really strong. They're all mid-level ultimate gods, with the lowest being a 4th-class ultimate god. This army would be able to wipe out anyone outside. Lin Fei smiled. Tianyuan Empire's emperor, don't be so angry. I've only killed your Black Emperor. You can have another one in the future anyway. Don't put on a long face, okay? Lin Fei laughed loudly. It's not good for your health. You might even die faster. As soon as he said that, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. The special life form Black Emperor was really dead. It was a piece of news they did not want to accept. Ultimate God Gu Quan was furious. I'll definitely kill you and wipe out your 10 clans. I'll let you know what regret is. Everyone attack. Whoever breaks through Senfu first, kills Senfu first, and captures this kid will be rewarded handsomely. Ultimate God Gu Quan said angrily. Tianyuan Empire's hope was gone. Ultimate God Gu Quan was filled with murderous intent. Kill for His Majesty. Kill that kid. The various forces in the distance began to move. Whoever did not take action today would be offending His Majesty. Their entire clan would be doomed tomorrow. In an instant, more than 300,000 experts attacked crazily. It was a shocking scene. It was not the first time Lin Fei Senfu was attacked by hundreds of thousands of people. The scene was terrifying, but to Lin Fei it was nothing. After all, it couldn't be broken. His prestige is rising really fast. With over 300,000 attacks from experts, Lin Fei was happy that his reputation was rising quickly. The more he was stimulated, the faster it would rise. In addition, his reputation had already broken past 15 million. Emperor of Tianyuan, it's not that I want to criticize you, but you have the cheek to bring out such a small number of people? It's far from enough to defeat my Senfu. You'll need at least 1 million experts. Lin Fei shouted again, looking down on these people. Revered divinity Gu Quan's face twitched. It had been many years since he had encountered such a situation, and no one had ever dared to say such a thing to him. Among the 300,000 experts, 100,000 of them were from the Tianyuan army. They were elites, but now he was being called useless? Order them to attack this emperor with all their might. Venerable divinity, Gu Quan thought that the other party was provoking them. No spatial treasure could withstand such an attack. Why did you provoke supreme divinity, Gu Quan? Zilong really didn't understand what Lin Fei was trying to do. Was he purposely provoking supreme divinity, Gu Quan? That's right, I'm purposely provoking them. Lin Fei smiled. If I don't provoke them, how boring would it be? Otherwise, they'll think that I'm the king. Zilong really didn't know what to say. Charge out and let them go. Lin Fei had just started grinding his reputation, but he couldn't bear to kill them. I'll let them go. Huifeng was still prepared to go on a killing spree, and was stunned when she heard Lin Fei's words. Yes, let's charge out immediately. Control the speed and let them keep following us. Circle the entire Tianyuan Empire. Do you understand? Yes, I'll do it immediately. Huifeng didn't dare to anger her master. He was an existence that could easily kill special life forms. The Senfu's super infinity cannon opened up a path, and they successfully charged out. A sneer finally appeared on Supreme Divinity Gu Quan's gloomy face. They can't hold on any longer, right? Chase after them and exhaust all of their Senfu's energy. Use the enchantment treasures as well. We must break through Senfu. Senfu had opened up a bloody path. In Supreme Divinity Gu Quan's opinion, the other party Senfu was about to reach its limit. In the Tianyuan Empire, there was nothing that a Senfu couldn't be destroyed by an army. This was the source of Supreme Divinity Gu Quan's confidence. Back then, there were also outsiders who barged in, but they were all captured alive in the end. As a result, the immortal mansion fled unsteadily in the front, while more than 300,000 experts besieged them from behind. Emperor of Tianyuan, as long as you kneel down and kowtow to admit your mistake, I might spare your life. Think about it carefully. I'm giving you a chance. In the sky above Senfu, Lin Fei provoked Supreme Divinity Gu Quan again and again. This emperor was able to control his temper, but the killing intent in his eyes intensified. Originally, more than 300,000 people besieged Senfu. As Senfu began to move in the Tianyuan Empire, the news spread continuously. More and more forces joined in the siege. Everyone wanted to be the first to break through Senfu. His Majesty had a great reward. No matter what it was something that couldn't be obtained normally. Master, my performance was not bad, right? Huifeng executed Lin Fei's orders perfectly. Not only did she control her speed, but she also acted as if Senfu couldn't hold on any longer. From time to time, she would accelerate and attack with the super limitless cannon. In the eyes of everyone, it was a struggle before death. Everyone fought even harder. Very good. Continue. Lin Fei smiled. Oh, right, I'm going to rest. You just need to control Senfu and keep circling around the Tianyuan Empire. I want everyone to know of my existence. Master, rest assured. There won't be any problems. Huifeng was now his #1 lackey. Are you really going to do that? Zilong originally thought that coming to the 8th level would be an extremely dangerous thing. However, the outcome was completely beyond his imagination. That Black Emperor usually flaunted his strength in front of him, but he was killed by Lin Fei from the barbarian race with a single strike. He didn't even encounter any danger. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, Zilong would have found it hard to believe that it was true. Now, he had actually started circling around divine, venerable Gu Quan and the experts of the Tianyuan Empire. This was incomprehensible. If he could kill special life forms, wouldn't it be a piece of cake for him to deal with these people? Of course. I have to take a good look at such a good place. Zilong didn't believe Lin Fei's words. What was there to visit in such a place? Subconsciously, she felt that there must be a reason why Lin Fei was doing this. However, she couldn't think of a reason, no matter how hard she racked her brains. It was a completely irrelevant matter. The Tianyuan Empire was in an uproar with the death of Senfu. In particular, the death of Black Emperor, a special life form, was like a heavy bomb that spread throughout the entire Tianyuan Empire. Even the Emperor, divine venerable Gu Quan, appeared and hunted down the outsiders in Senfu. The hundreds of thousands of experts also broke through 1 million, and then to 2, 3 million. Chapter 3258. The 8th floor of the Tomb of God, Tianyuan Empire. Ever since the emergence of the Senfu, the entire Tianyuan Empire was no longer peaceful. The Tianyuan Empire's young master Heidi was killed, and the empire's hope for the future also died. Afterward, the Tianyuan army brought by His Majesty Gu Quan could not break through the moving Senfu. The Immortal's estate carried divine Gu Quan and the millions of experts of the Tianyuan Empire as they wandered through the Tianyuan Empire. This wander lasted for 3 months. Within 3 months, the entire Tianyuan Empire knew about it. The Tianyuan Empire's army besieging the Senfu had now increased to more than 500 million. The scene was extremely shocking. No matter who it was, they would not be able to calm down after seeing such a scene. However, the 500 million army could not break through the Senfu and allowed the Senfu to break through the encirclement. They wandered here and there as if they were walking a dog. It was a terrible feeling. A bunch of good-for-nothings. It's been 3 months, and you still can't break through the Senfu. What's the use of all of you? The emperor of the Tianyuan Empire, Gu Quan, had been livid ever since that month. The people around him did not dare to make a sound. During that period, several ultimate gods who came to report the situation were directly dragged away and beheaded. They really wanted to tell the owner of the immortal abode not to continue tormenting them like this, all right? They were going to die. They gathered 500 million soldiers. Yet they still could not break through the Senfu. Instead, millions of experts were killed. What the hell was this? Your Majesty, the Senfu has stopped. Someone came up to report. Just as he had said, the immortal mansion that had been running all over the place stopped. In front of the 500 million soldiers, the sky was densely packed and blocked out the sun. The Senfu seemed extremely small no matter how one looked at it. However, that was not the case. In the beginning, everyone had come for the reward from His Majesty. However, when they really fought, they had gone from excitement to despair and helplessness. Their hearts had been destroyed countless times. That was a moving fortress that could not be breached. Everyone's morale had suffered a heavy blow. There had never been a treasure that could withstand 3 months of attacks. During this period, they had suffered millions of casualties. Every time the Senfu bombarded, tens of thousands of experts would die. Now, everyone had lost their confidence and even had thoughts of regret. This was an unbreakable Senfu. If the Emperor of Tianyuan was not present, everyone would have run away. Whoever wanted to go could go, but they didn't want to. It was unknown how many powers had besieged the Senfu, but they had suffered great losses. First-rate families had become second-rate families, and second-rate families had become third-rate families. After the immortal mansion stopped, the 500 million soldiers surrounded them in 3 layers. Their desire to attack Senfu was almost gone. It's been 3 months. You guys are even more useless than I thought. You guys can't even break my Senfu. How disappointing. Lin Fei was extremely satisfied with what he had gained in the past 3 months. The Tianyuan Empire, with a population of hundreds of billions, had brought Lin Fei a huge amount of prestige. Every time he saw the prestige he gained, he would smile from ear to ear. 300 billion prestige. This was the prestige gained in the past 3 months. It would be strange if Senfu's prestige didn't increase after strolling around. 300 billion prestige not only made up for the previous consumption, but also made a small gain. It would be strange if Lin Fei wasn't happy. After earning 300 billion prestige, Lin Fei had made up for the previous consumption. Calculating the time, he could start farming prestige for the second time. After swaying for 3 months, the immortal abode stopped. Venerable God Gu Quan's murderous gaze shot toward the young figure in Senfu. I won't kill you as long as you surrender. In these 3 months, revered divinity Gu Quan had witnessed the power of the immortal mansion. They had gathered an army of 500 million, but they still could not break through a tiny immortal mansion. As the emperor of the Tianyuan Empire, how could he not see the wonders of the immortal mansion? They alone would not be able to break Senfu even if they had 100 or even 10,000 years, unless the 2 great ancestors of Tianyuan Empire took action. Venerable God Gu Quan really did not have the guts to inform the great ancestors. In the eyes of the great ancestors, those who could not even take down Senfu were trash. Lin Fei laughed. Ha ha ha, you really know how to talk. You obviously can't do anything to my Senfu, but you still have the nerve to ask me to surrender. You're really thick-skinned. Brat, how can you talk to His Majesty like that? We would have killed you 10,000 times if you weren't in Senfu. A high-level ultimate god shouted. Come out if you have the guts. I'll kill you. The Tianyuan Empire's ultimate gods were also fuming with anger. Who would be happy that a high-level ultimate god expert could not take down a brat? They would kill as many people as he was outside. Lin Fei laughed. So this is how you do it when you can't win. However, I'm in a good mood today. As you wish, I'll let you out. I'll fulfill your wish now, since you're no match for me inside, or outside anyway. Too arrogant. Tianyuan Empire was not a small empire. There were countless experts and high-level ultimate gods. There were even a handful of ninth-class ultimate gods. A brat dared to say such a thing. His arrogance was boundless. That made the high-level ultimate gods very angry. They could not wait to grab him and cut him into pieces so that they could vent their anger. As for Hades' death, they thought it was a shameless sneak attack. No one could defeat or even kill Hades in a one-on-one fight. Apart from using shameless tactics, those high-level ultimate gods were overjoyed. They did not expect that guy to really dare to come out. They believed that as long as he came out, he would not be able to return to Senfu. Lin Fei flew out of Senfu and stood outside Senfu in a swaggering manner. He faced the 500 million strong army alone, but Lin Fei could not be shaken by their imposing manner. This guy is really strange. In Senfu, Zilong once again felt he could not see through Lin Fei. Not only her, but Panjayan also felt the same. He had been wandering around for 3 months only to go out and fight. It did not seem right no matter how he looked at it. Did Lin Fei have nothing better to do? Do it! The Tianyuan Empire's high-level ultimate gods immediately took action the moment Lin Fei left Senfu. A black divine pagoda descended from the sky, pressing down heavily. The surrounding void was also sealed, and the space around it was undergoing a transformation. It looked like Lin Fei was still in Tianyuan Empire, but in reality he was not. He was in another space on the same plane. Brat, you're finished this time. You'll meet a terrible end for going against Tianyuan Empire. Chapter 3259. The Divine Pagoda was a powerful treasure used to trap people. It could seal an area of space and was extremely powerful. Ordinary ultimate gods could not withstand its power and could only be taken away by the Divine Pagoda. Lin Fei chuckled. That little bit of pressure was really nothing to him. He casually punched the Divine Pagoda, and as he moved, the sealed space shattered into pieces. The black Divine Pagoda flew out with a cracking sound, and cracks spread across its surface. He destroyed the Divine Pagoda with one punch. Come, come, come. Let me see the power of the Tianyuan Empire. Lin Fei walked toward ultimate god Guquan. 3 figures appeared in the void. All of them were assassins. They came and went without a trace. Only clanging sounds could be heard as Lin Fei was attacked dozens of times. Lin Fei's perfect physical body was at its peak. His physical body's defense was so strong that it only left a white mark on his body. The assassins could not stop Lin Fei's footsteps either. Is there any more? This little bit of power is too weak. Lin Fei shook his head. Everyone, let's attack together. A foreign barbarian kid dares to be so presumptuous here. The imperial gods were furious. He was completely looking down on them. Needless to say, the ultimate gods from the imperial gods attacked one by one. The sky suddenly became colorful with all kinds of treasures attacking. Lin Fei did not move very fast. No matter what attack landed on him, it was all reflected back to the ultimate gods. Skill, damage transfer. The ultimate gods who attacked were all dumbfounded. They looked at the wounds on their bodies in disbelief. They did not believe it and attacked again. However, they were still injured. It was useless even if they had armor. The injuries came from inside the body. The stronger the attack, the greater the injury. For a moment, those high-level ultimate gods kept vomiting blood. Stop attacking. This is damage transfer. Ultimate god Gu Quan was also secretly shocked. He could even master such a technique. What was this guy's background? Judging from this technique, he must have mastered it to a very deep level. 7th and 8th level ultimate gods attacks were easily transferred to them. One could imagine how powerful it was. Venerable divinity, Gu Chuan had underestimated this young man. "You have good eyesight." Lin Fei chuckled as he stepped forward. Wherever he passed, no one dared to attack. Those injured ultimate gods had never felt so aggrieved before. First, they besieged Senfu, but Senfu was unscathed. Now, they finally managed to lure them out, but they were still in the same state. They felt powerless, as if their fists were punching cotton. What the hell was going on? With just this wave, Lin Fei once again gained several 100 million reputation points. His reputation points quickly broke through 1 billion and continued to rise. Although there were only 500 million soldiers present, that was not all. The entire Tianyuan Empire was paying attention to the Senfu. It was only natural for their prestige to skyrocket once again. Revered divinity Gu Chuan did not order his subordinates to make a move. With damage redirection, all attacks were useless. In the end, the casualties would be the Tianyuan Empire. To be able to grasp such a technique at such a young age, you are indeed amazing. Venerable divinity Gu Chuan said, "But you shouldn't have killed the enemy Onyx Emperor, the hope of the Tianyuan Empire." Lin Fei stopped not far from the emperor. He could clearly feel the murderous intent from the other party. He did not hide it at all. Dead geniuses can only be blamed for their lack of strength. Lin Fei laughed. "For example, if you die now, you will no longer be the emperor of the Tianyuan Empire." Venerable divinity, Gu Chuan sneered and said in a sarcastic tone, "You're very powerful, but you're not strong enough to kill me. You should know that if a special life form like Onyx Emperor can appear in the Tianyuan Empire, there must be someone stronger. As long as you hand over damage redirection and Senfu, I can let you go. Everything that happened before can be treated as if nothing happened. Think about it. I rarely say such things to people." Lin Fei knew that the other party was afraid of him. With the help of damage redirection, he had become a special existence. Coupled with his own strength, it would be easy for him to kill someone. However, he was here to build his prestige. He did not care about any threats. As for the two old men in the imperial capital, they knew about it from the beginning. Would Lin Fei care? Of course not. He had to get rid of them sooner or later. Otherwise, how could he develop this place into a base to build his prestige? "You're wrong. I won't hand over damage redirection, and neither will Senfu." Lin Fei smiled. "Now, I want to say something. If you don't want to die, kneel down and beg for mercy. This is your only chance." Those high-level ultimate gods, standing behind venerable divinity, Gu Chuan, glared at him. They would take action as soon as His Majesty gave the order. "And you guys, if you don't want to die, you can also kneel down. Once I make a move, you guys will really die. Think about it. It wasn't easy to cultivate to this realm. If you die, wouldn't it be too much of a pity?" Lin Fei said again, "I can kill the Black Emperor, let alone you guys." Those high-level ultimate gods were in an uproar again. Onyx Emperor was a special life form. If Jian Wushuang used the same method to kill Onyx Emperor to kill them, everyone suddenly felt a chill down their spine and could no longer remain calm. "Young man, I really don't know what you're thinking if you want to kill me. This is just one of my clones. You won't even blink, even if you kill 10,000 of them." Venerable divinity Gu Chuan said scornfully, "But you're different. I can order the entire Tianyuan Empire to attack you. Even if you have damage redirection, do you think you can survive?" The young man's words were so ridiculous that venerable divinity Gu Chuan did not care at all. Even those top-level ultimate gods could not kill both their bodies and clones at the same time. That kind of ability could only be achieved by universe-level experts, but not every universe-level expert. It was even harder to break through from ultimate god to universe level. Listen to me and hand over the damage redirection technique. Senfu will spare your life. Venerable divinity Gu Chuan said in a confident tone, "In the Tianyuan Empire, no one can ignore my words. You should be glad that there's something worthy of my attention. Back then, Many people weren't as lucky as you. You should cherish this opportunity." Lin Fei shook his head. "Forget it then. Since you don't believe me, I have nothing else to say. It's a pity that you're already the emperor. I hereby announce that the next emperor of the Tian Yuan Empire will be me. Attack, kill him." Venerable divinity, Gu Chuan frowned, and his figure became illusory. As soon as the order was given, all the Tian Yuan Empire experts attacked Lin Fei. "You don't have the ability to kill me. I'll be watching you from the imperial capital." Venerable divinity, Gu Chuan disappeared in front of Lin Fei. Then, an overwhelming barrage of attacks came. Chapter 3260. The moment the emperor of the Tian Yuan Empire, Gu Quan, left, all the Heaven Yuan experts launched their attacks. Lin Fei's position was immediately hit by a destructive attack. The space collapsed. The power of the attack was too terrifying, exceeding the endurance of the space. In the imperial capital, Gu Quan took out a treasure and saw the situation on the battlefield clearly. He had a cold smile on his face. So what if he has mastered the damage transfer? In the imperial capital, I am invincible. Gu Quan didn't believe that guy could withstand it. The attack of the 500 million strong army was just a test. It would be best if the other party couldn't withstand it. Even if he did, there was nothing to worry about. There was a limit to the damage transfer. If it exceeded the limit, the damage transfer would be broken. That guy is dead for sure. No one has ever been able to withstand the attack of a 500 million strong army. Hiding in Senfu might be out of everyone's hands. But once he comes out, he has no advantage. I really don't know what he is thinking. As long as we kill that guy, attacking Senfu will be a piece of cake. The entire Tian Yuan Empire was paying attention. Those forces that had lost many experts were eager for the other party to be killed so that they could vent their anger. Previously, hiding in Senfu, they could only grit their teeth. Now the opportunity had come. Was Lin Fei really that easy to deal with? Definitely not. Gu Quan, do you think you'll be fine after running to the imperial capital? No one who I want to kill has ever survived. Facing the attack, Lin Fei laughed. Bang, bang, bang. When the attack landed on Lin Fei, the damage transfer was immediately activated. Without any warning, it landed on the attacker, causing them to bleed. Lin Fei moved forward. When the attack landed on his body, it was immediately reflected back to the enemy. The greater the power, the greater the damage. Countless people were instantly killed by his own power. One by one, they fell from the sky like it was raining. He can't block it. This technique makes him invincible. How can he fight? Oh no, I'm injured too. None of the experts from the Tian Yuan Empire remained calm in the sky. In just a short period of time, over 100 million experts had died. The scene was so shocking that no one could believe it. If you don't want to die, leave. Lin Fei headed towards the imperial capital and passed through the army. There were very few people who left, who would dare to disobey the words of that emperor. Even if they died in battle, it was the same. They had to stop the other party. Since all of you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Lin Fei punched out. The sky was filled with fist shadows that swept across the body of the Sky Yuan expert in front of him. Then, clouds of blood mist exploded. He couldn't be more dead. In an instant, Lin Fei had transformed into a terrifying butcher. The injured Sky Origin Stage cultivator faced the power of Lin Fei's perfect body again. With one punch, the Divine Master died without any chance to struggle. Die, 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 die! Lin Fei rushed over and punched out. A huge power swept over and harvested the Sky Origin experts. 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. Under Lin Fei's punches, they died. No matter what realm they were in, the result was the same. The army of 500 million went from 400 million to 300 million, and then to 200 million. The number was decreasing at an extremely fast speed. Lin Fei's strength finally made them feel fear and despair. Run! This is a demon, this is a butcher. I don't want to die. I want to live. What T Emperor's order? I want to live. The army collapsed. They couldn't hit or touch such a strong enemy. On the contrary, they were easily swept away like ants. Such a strong contrast would make them collapse, no matter how good their mental state was. Knowing that they would die, they still went forward. If they weren't fools, what else could they be? Therefore, everyone ran away, with injuries all over their bodies. Even though some leaders wanted to stop them, they didn't dare to do so when they saw the tide of collapse. Lin Fei alone killed more than 200 million Sky origin stage cultivators, who dared to go against him. You're really strong, but in the Tianyuan Empire, you'll never be able to defeat me. In the void, a saber light slashed down. It directly slashed Lin Fei's body. At the same time, Gu Quan, Ultimate God's cold voice was heard. Gu Quan, Ultimate God, who was far away in the imperial capital, attacked from a distance. With the support of the imperial capital's formation, his strength could exert the combat power of a peak ultimate god, which was a level 10 ultimate god. A cold light flashed, and everyone's movements seemed to slow down. As the saber light appeared, countless Sky origin stage cultivators died and their bodies were cut in half. That was just the saber wind naturally released by the saber light. Under Lin Fei's perfect physical state, the saber light landed on his body and made a clanking sound, leaving white marks all over his body. Wow, there's still a treasure that can withstand my damage transfer. Lin Fei fiddled with his body. The power that landed on his body was like a tickle to him and was not threatening at all. However, the technique was quite powerful. If this is all you've got, you can die later. Lin Fei moved toward the imperial capital. The army had long collapsed and lost their confidence. Gu Quan, Ultimate God, did not think he could kill his opponent in one go. In the imperial capital, his strength had reached the level of a peak ultimate god. Even if his opponent had the damage transfer technique, he would not be able to cause any harm to him. Let's see how long you can last. Gu Quan, Ultimate God, snorted coldly as he held his weapon and slashed several saber lights into the void. Those saber lights were all attacking Lin Fei. His reputation is growing really fast. Lin Fei's fist smashed against the saber light flying out from the void. With a cracking sound, the saber light shattered. With the assistance of the system, the opponent's attack appeared bizarre and could not be detected by the system. Thus, it was easy for Lin Fei to deal with it. They were getting closer and closer to the imperial capital. No one dared to intercept them. The saber lights appeared from time to time in the sky. Those were attacks from His Majesty Gu Quan, Ultimate God, who dared to go up and look for trouble. It was not something they could intervene in. The most frightening thing was that the outsider was ridiculously strong. He broke His Majesty Gu Quan, Ultimate God's attack with one hand each time, as if everything was under his control. The smart ones knew that the outsider might really be able to kill Gu Quan, Ultimate God. At the very least, he could fight his way to the imperial capital. It was better for them to wait and see. Imperial capital, here I come. Lin Fei laughed loudly as his fist crossed thousands of mountains and rivers like a stream of light and blasted on the imperial capital's formation. There was a loud bang, and the entire imperial capital shook. That was the first blow, followed by a second and even a third one. The imperial capital began to become turbulent. Everyone looked at the outsider with fear and uneasiness. No one had ever seen someone shake the imperial capital with one punch, but someone had done it. Gu Quan, Ultimate God, I'm coming to kill you. Are you ready? Lin Fei's figure appeared outside the imperial capital and broke several attacks in a row. He looked straight at the imperial capital of the Tianyuan Empire. I'll give you 3 breaths to think about it. As long as you come out and surrender, I can spare your life. Otherwise, it's useless for you to hide in the imperial capital. Gu Quan, Ultimate God, was clad in battle armor with a divine saber in his hand. His battle intent surged as he rushed out of the palace.